Hi, I'm Bob Fletcher, your Ramsey County Sheriff. I'm coming to you live from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Starting soon, we're launching a series of Facebook Live events. I'm inviting you to see firsthand what's happening on the streets of Ramsey County and to share the work of our office. From the jail to the courts to the waterways and on the streets. We'll talk with you about community safety and much more. And we'll have an honest conversation about the increase in crime and what we can do about it. Most importantly, I want to hear from you. So we're going to take your text questions while we're live. The number is going to be 651-448-3810. 448-3810. Text us and we'll answer your questions live. Hope to see you soon. And please share this video invitation with your friends. Have a great day. Well, welcome. Welcome to the live at the Sheriff's Office. We're just over on Marshall Avenue right now. I'm on patrol. I try to patrol 2 to 3 days a week for a few hours. You hear the radio in the background. Hope that's not too disturbing. Just going by the reception for the funeral for Bajan Adams, our latest homicide victim, was today over at New Hope Church, and the reception was at Dunning. So the reception's just wrapping up here at Dunning. Got shot up at Western and Concordia. Both Minneapolis and St. Paul are on record pace to set homicide records this year.
Can you put my call back in pending and canvass squad respond?
So far, it's been a relatively quiet night. There are 4 or 5 calls in the pending queue. We do anticipate a busy Friday night. But right now, I'm eastbound on Marshall, coming up on Lexington. Now, obviously, if we come across some confidential stuff, I'll have to turn the camera off. The audio that you're hearing from the police radio is something you can listen to on any scanner app. Ramsey County has not yet encrypted any of the audio. But this is a first for us, live on patrol. So if you can, I can't read the I can't actually read the comments, so I apologize for that. But you can text me to that phone, 651-448-3810, 651-448-3810, and when I get a chance to stop, we can answer questions. We did get a question from the first video about Rice Street. The Rice Street office is definitely reopening. I talked to the troops there. They'll be on their bikes again this next week. So I know that during COVID we haven't really been around, but we'll be back on Rice Street. You probably noticed that car in front just barely made that green light. I don't do a ton of traffic stops unless it's very egregious.
286.
Try to spend time, working on the violence and some of the more serious crimes that are out here. But when I cross over 94 here, I'm going to go back into my my home district. When I started back in the beginning, it used to be the A1 precinct up here on University and Lex. Spent my early years patrolling University Avenue from Western to Snelling, the old Frogtown district. Still have a soft spot for that district, and I love being on the streets up here in University Avenue. Of course, things have changed, but it's still a great place to work. we have had a lot of shootings. You know, this Frogtown area has been one of the leading areas for people to get shot. Clearly, a lot of it's gang related. Just to, you know, to cut through it, I know that some people are afraid to say the gang word, but you know, we've long had gang problems. Actually, gangs started here in the cities in the 80s. Both the Gangster Disciples and the Crips began moving here from Chicago and Los Angeles, and it's evolved and escalated since then. Unfortunately, a lot of our younger kids are finding that that's the only alternative family they have, and that's a longer discussion. You know, I spent 4 years in charge of the juvenile unit here in St. Paul, and clearly there's a lot of needs and assets that kids don't get that cause them to look for alternative family structure.
172.
But having said that, it's our job to help get them back on track and not allow them to victimize each other or other people. University in Victoria here, best steakhouse on the right. Historically, back in the 70s and 80s, this was a den of prostitution up on University, and most of that's evolved away. Isn't much street prostitution left out here in St. Paul. Of course, the light rail wasn't here.
Midnight miles, go to 4, please.
I've got to keep the radio on in case we hear something important here, a call we want to run in on. And we just
is looking for the east midnight.
Past Johnny Babies back there at University and Chatsworth. The owner there, Jonathan Price, great guy. He eventually sold it. You know, it's tough to control what happens in the parking lot. And of course, that was our first homicide of 2019 there in the parking lot of Johnny Babies at University in Chatsworth. So if you got any questions, you know, feel free to text me at that number.
Central West and Roseville.
651-448-3310. You know, you're hearing a lot of radios in the background. Just if you have a scanner, there are 3 main precincts for the city of St. Paul. Channel 1 is the Western District. Channel 2 is the Central District. Right now we're in the Western District. And then Channel 3 is the East Side.
367.
And then the suburbs have 3 channels as well. And the West, Ramsey West, is New Brighton, Roseville, and Mounds View.
I didn't hear anything.
Central is
Copy 373 for 7th and 8th.
Sheriff's Office.
4 to 5 shots from the intersection. If you hear anything else.
It's just a call on shots fired over on Bates Street. Central is the Sheriff's Office, and then the Ramsey County East frequency is Maplewood, North St. Paul, and White Bear Lake. So there are 6 frequencies going at one time. I try to scan as many as I can. Sometimes I have 4 radios going, but my wife tells me it's annoying to have all those radios on when we're talking. Feel free to share this video with your friends. I hope their comments are respectful, but it is, of course, free speech. And so we're headed toward the Capitol. You might be able to see the Capitol up ahead there. And when we get to Western, right here, Western is the border between the West Sector.
Central.
Hang on one second.
127th Street. Gray 2-door Dodge Challenger. West and eastbound on 7th. No plate info at this time. Information at 2106.
So a gray Dodge Challenger was just stolen downtown on 7th Street. No plate information at the current time. A lot of time owners don't have their own plates.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. There was a vehicle that just taken the gray 2-door Dodge Challenger.
Gray 2-door Dodge Challenger.
The owner of the vehicle drove after a female on the common motorcycle.
Pulling over to let this fellow go by. So anyhow, we're going north on Western. This is the border of the Western District
267.
and the Central District. Sometimes the call will get dispatched on the Western District, and the cops on the Central might not hear the call. So
and let's
very important to be able to notify both on both sides of the street.
Heavy.
We're gonna just go up here. We're at Thomas.
Thanks, 267.
Two eight seven.
I'll try to let you listen to the radio a little.
Mine's UE. And that 16.
Last one.
167-10-8.
So 167, that means he's a car that works in the Western District, because the Western District is the 100 cars.
199.
199.
Not sure why
Is
these
there any
cars.
post units on tonight?
Showing 454 on the board. I'll try to raise them.
Copy, I think they can handle that.
So then at Como here, the border between Western and Central takes a little zigzag and goes over to Dale.
Check channel 1 for 454.
Not only we're on a record homicide rate, but we're on a record, we have a 100% increase in shots fired this year, just in shots fired. And we got a 40% increase in homicides, but then about a 30% increase in people getting shot. So it's been a troublesome year, and last year, August and September were our busiest months. Hey, for those of you that just joined us, thanks so much. I know that a lot of you didn't catch it early. This is the first episode of Live with the Sheriff's Office. We're on patrol in the Western District. I'm trying to listen to the radio here while I talk.
166.
So
166.
we're just talking a little bit about the homicide rate being extremely high, and the funeral today for the most recent young man, Bajan Adams. Reportedly a great kid, and tons of family members gathered there at the funeral. Pastor Rev Spence, good friend of mine, actually he works for the sheriff's office now, it administered the eulogy today, and it's it's just a sad thing that we're not able to stop people from getting killed on our streets. So we'll tell you what we're going to do at some point after we keep this program going. We're going to invite you all to a meeting. I don't know if it'll be virtual or real, but we need to have a real discussion about what the community's expectation is.
The cop does not know the male.
Community expectation regarding solving crime, because we can't let this continue to slide. I know Chief Axtell's very, very concerned about what's happening, and frankly, you can't cut $9 million from the police budget and have anything but more crime. I mean, when you cut that much, it really means less squads in your district, slower response times, less people caught, less investigations, and ultimately, more shootings. So I don't know how they're going to figure out what they can do, but I can tell you this, having been out here for a few years, I've never seen a rapid increase in violence that we're seeing now. We're going up Como here, westbound on Como. It's one of the oldest roads in St. Paul. It used to be wagons used to go out here to Como Lake on what was called Territorial Road out to the territory. And not a ton of crime out here, but we did have the Connie's cone, the cup and cone there did get robbed here recently.
That car looks like it's a male driver and a female passenger.
All right, I got to listen to the radio for a minute here.
The vehicle's getting back to James Eugene Frubbert out of Roseville.
Yeah, this is where it's part of my original district back in 1977. Of course, the road, those of you that have been around that long, you know the roads were different out here. And we remodeled in the 80s, we changed the road route. And we're gonna go back east on Maryland. I know if I don't fully stop, you guys will be sending me texts, but I'll make sure I do. So let me see. So it's at 9:12. And I do have one-touch phone calling in this car, so if I need to make a phone call, actually I can by pushing a button, in case you're wondering if I'm gonna violate any laws.
371.
Como High School on our right there. Great high school. Roy Magnuson works at the sheriff's office now. He's just lives down the street here on Wheelock and taught there for many years. He's our public information officer. We'll probably have him on live sometime. For those of you that remember Roy Magnuson, just an outstanding individual and great football coach, wrestling coach as well. So here we are. We're up at the Connie's Cone. Can't imagine the terror of having some guy come in there and rob you. And, I remember Godbout's restaurant used to be across there, and actually someone can remind me of what the name of the restaurant was.
25 arrived.
Received.
It's not unusual, I have to be honest with you. I've been in, just since coming back for the last year and a half here, I've been in 25 chases, some of which I was involved with myself, some of which St. Paul or other departments started. There's a fair amount of, Coachman, that was a restaurant, Coachman. Fair amount of controversy over whether to chase or not to chase. And, you know, every department is developing a policy. No one wants to see an innocent person get hit. But one of the things that's happened is
271.
the criminals know that most cops aren't going to chase them. And so even if they've robbed someone at gunpoint,
30 mile 0.
they flee. And so we've had a series, you can go back on my Facebook page or the sheriff's office, we had a series of carjackings and robberies with young kids that are fleeing, and they just continue to shoot at people.
With black stripes.
Hang on one
It has
second.
louvers on the rear of it.
166, check your status.
I am going to flip the radio to channel 2. Now we're on the Central District. We're over here at 444
You said louvers on the rear?
Maryland. We had a homicide here.
Louvers on the rear window, and then there's a front black grill on the vehicle. It went studio northwest from O'Reilly's.
Let me just pull over and
Yeah, 2012
check out.
Dodge Challenger, gray with black striped louvers on the rear window, front black grille. Party's phone is inside. That's in northwest from O'Reilly's.
That's the stolen Challenger we're looking for. And back eastbound. Eastbound on
24.
Maryland.
24.
Surprisingly, that camera
I'll
seems
take that domestic.
phone seems to work pretty good.
Copy. Let's go to assess 196 Briggs. Caller stating, there was not physically violence, but currently on the porch and is requesting should be revoked.
261, presenting comments, and I can head down there with 24.
Usually I start patrolling around 10, like to work from 10 till 2 in the morning. That's our busiest time. You know, we have had earlier spats now with restaurants and stuff being closed. But, you know, now that the restaurants are open, the crime has moved back a little later. used to be for a while with everything closed at 10 o'clock that the criminals were committing their crime earlier because they had more victims out there. So I'm coming up on Rice and Maryland, and the northeast corner is the home of Tin Cup. My good friend Gidget Bailey has awesome cheeseburgers there, well, a variety of other food as well. But stop in and see her. She was very helpful in helping the owner of the auto parts place help us get a location on Rice Street. And but Gidget does unbelievable things for the community, helping fundraise for important needs, but also just helping people out that are less fortunate. You know, free dinners, handing out dinners during COVID as well. I'm going to turn into the parking lot here, just see what's happening. The Dollar Tree is closed, of course. I'm not gonna check in on Gidget, but she might be working at the Clover. She owns another restaurant up in Vadnais Heights as well. Like I was saying, I usually start around 10. How's it going? But great food here. All right. So we're in the Central District now on, I should probably turn that radio up so you can hear some of the stuff happening. We're in the Central District. Maryland's one of the busiest streets in the city. 15,000 plus people are on here every day. Snelling Avenue is really the busiest with 30 or 35,000. But,
Well, for clarification, the vehicle went north, west, like I said, but on View, not 7th Street.
all right. So that Challenger was down on 7th. 7th and View, that's where it was seen. In case you text me if you see a Dodge Challenger with louvers in front of us. Sylvan Playground, I remember my little girl Kelsey catching her first fly ball there. She was playing for Phelan, and I was sitting on the hill there, and they hit a fly ball, and she was like 7 years old, Kelsey, and she catches the ball. It's like the first out of the inning. She's so excited, she runs in from the center field and up the hill and gives me a hug. I said, Kelsey, it's only one out. And she ran back out there, so good memory there. Now she's a nurse practitioner up in Grand Forks, has 3 kids of her own. Doing great, married to a farmer in Grand Forks. I'm here in Maryland and Jackson. Hope that guy's not going to just run that red light now. When I first started, right up Jackson here was a junkyard. And we had we called them teams there. And at the junkyard there on Jackson Street was our first central precinct. It was called A2, the A2 precinct. And the office, I didn't work there, I was just trained in there because I worked in A1 over there on University Avenue. But the officers there called themselves the Junkyard Dogs. I don't know if you can get nicknames like that anymore. So obviously that gentleman is in a hurry. We're going to pace him right now. Pace him. See how big of a hurry he is. Like I said, I don't do a ton of traffic stops unless it's a careless driving. I do on occasion though pull up alongside people and ask them to slow down. We call the sheriff's office the friendly police. All right, we're crossing over the free and doing so, we're going to the east sector, channel 3. 35E in Maryland, we're going to channel 3. We'll still scan the other channels, but our primary channel on the radio will be channel 3. For those of you that are still just joining us, we're out on patrol with the sheriff's office. We're on the east side, we're headed east on Maryland. Of course, the east side has been very busy. Like Frogtown, there's two areas that have been busy with shooting, sort of the Frogtown area and the east side.
373.
Usually from here south to Minnehaha. I don't want to predict shooting, but I'll be surprised if the next couple hours we don't have some gunfire erupting.
Light Rail Central Station, 58 East 5th Street. Commented there's a male who robbed comp the other day, currently at the westbound platform. Possibly had the gun, had previously hit the comp with the gun. Possibly DK.
So that's a
Black on the 35-8, gray head wrap, gray shirt, gray sweatpants, has a bag with him.
possible robbery down on 5th Street at the platform down there, the light rail platform. Central cars downtown and the west side are in the
Is there another squad that can assist
central district. You'll hear the 2 numbers, and the 500 cars are the beat officers downtown. St. Paul car.
428, go from HQ.
Copy 420, thanks.
Payne Avenue,
Transit's been advised, but they said it started in St. Paul, so...
relatively busy area as well.
283.
Remember, if you want to text me a question, 651
I'll take the fight.
448-3810, 448-3810.
366 and a squad to assist for 987 Flandreau. Have a single report of a male and female physically fighting in the streets.
We're going to sneak over there to 987 Flandreau.
382, this will be
It's a little ways away from us. That's really down by Case and Flandreau, but
Happy to.
a male and a female fighting in the street. I'm sure there's a squad closer to that call than us, but we'll continue to head that way. We're going up to Sam's Dairy. Sam's Dairy up on Maryland. I was there one day when a car came by with paintball machine guns. Started shooting everybody in the parking lot. Of course, we chased them and caught them, but they're kids, 16-year-old kids, take their mom's car and go get a paintball. Of course, you can imagine how many ways that could have gone wrong. Just not good.
190 traffic.
190
traffic. Arlington.
Kind of in the Payne Phelan neighborhood now, eastbound on Maryland.
No plates.
454, where you have 166, go to 4, please.
Just peeking at the CAD. You know, every officer has what's called the computer-aided dispatch computer. It's called the CAD terminal. And on that, we can see all the calls that are out, where the officers are, and all the calls that are pending. And so it's a great tool. You know, when I started, we didn't have such a thing. And then we upgraded in the 80s to what's called the mobile data terminal. And now they're at a computer-aided dispatch. But frankly, I don't really think you need one, but it's a nice tool. You know, most of these young coppers like this technology. You know, frankly, when we didn't have technology, our eyes were more on the street. We were looking for stuff, and I got to tell you, we learned the streets. So I don't know if you know this, but in Ramsey County, every mile is 480 numbers. Like Lexington to Snelling is 1100 to 1580. Every half mile is 240 numbers, and every long block is 60. And so Dale Street, well, Dale Street will be 620, and then St. Albans 680, and on and on and on. Grotto 740. The point is, we had to learn our streets and we had to learn our numbers. We didn't have GPS, and so most of the old-time cops were able to navigate around St. Paul. It doesn't really matter where you go. There's a couple of exceptions, but 240 numbers to a half mile. It's the same way over here on the east side. It's a little more confusing because the streets aren't laid out like as symmetrical as you would like over here. But 240 numbers to a half mile, and then sometimes there's short blocks that are 30 numbers, sometimes there's short blocks that are 45, but generally the long blocks are 60. So technology has advantages. I'm not opposed to it. I certainly have a CAD terminal in the car to get caught up, but it does take your eyes off the street at times, and there's no sense in pulling over to get a Google map to figure out where you're going to get to. I mean, it's not unusual for that delay to be caused by cops trying to figure out where they're going. All right, we're at Hazelwood, eastbound on Maryland at Hazelwood, and I'm going to pull into Sam's Dairy. There's been several shootings here. Our St. Paul gang unit, which does an outstanding job, spends a lot of time here. At any given night, anything could happen here. We'll greet the patrons and see how things are going. How's it going? It's the friendly police.
I see you.
Good to see you. How's it going?
It's all right tonight.
Good. It's getting hot out, huh?
It's pretty humid.
Yeah, humid. It went up from 85 degrees to 90 in 2 hours today.
2 hours.
Terrible.
Damn shame.
Terrible.
Better than some motherfucker.
Hopefully it'll cool off. Yeah, I mean, really, if you just get out here, well, this little girl standing by her car, I hope she doesn't see you there. If you just get out and talk to people, they do appreciate you. I mean, it's not unusual to have stolen cars roll through here, but for the most part, people are pleasant. What's going on now? Anything?
It's slow motion out right now, man. We trying to see where the move's at.
You guys need any masks?
Yeah, man.
Let me see if I can get you some masks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
6 masks
it all depends who. It all depends who you're hanging around with, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple. Hang on. Here's another one.
Copy. 2130.
Oh, here we go. Check this out. Got some
Okay.
more.
Yep,
All
that's
right.
about all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, you have a good night.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Checking your
Got a little traffic jam here.
Officers at east tonight.
All right. It's the mask patrol. Have a good one.
I believe 383 is.
All right.
Copy. Tracy, when you get back to your spot,
What do you got?
I've got a civil matter that's pending. Apparently, it needs a Spanish speaker to respond.
All right, just remember, you got any questions? Text me at 651-448-3810. 448-3810. Back eastbound on Maryland. Well, we got someone crossing the street here. So back to the whole logistics of there's a lot of different types of police officers. There's no one way to do this job. You know, you need to have a good variety of personalities out here. You know, most importantly, you just need to have people that have some kindness in their heart and want to make a difference, of course. You know, you you can't really train person to have it. People have a good heart, so you got to hire them with a good heart. I have some concerns that I'm going to work with John Thompson from when he gets elected next year on broadening the pool of people that we can hire. But you know, you need a variety. You need some technical people. Some people love the technology.
283.
Some people love being on the street.
The transit would not be responding. I have updated on that they are there with the com.
They're here at White Bear Avenue.
We're out there with her.
I'm gonna go south for a little bit.
420, we showing on the 532.
Copy 420.
So anyhow, it's a pleasant night. You know, it's when it's pouring rain or snow, it's not quite so pleasant. But when it's 84 degrees, it's nice being out here. I'm surprised we haven't had more calls. I will tell you that there's a lot of cars. Just looking at the screen here, there's I don't know. I suppose there's 30 calls right now in the city. Nothing totally major, and another 10 calls in the queue pending. You know, the lower priority calls are just kind of held for a while.
Can you recall this from a burglary two-way suspicious? It's been clarified. And then can you show up and then assist in the same address, please?
So this is Case. Now, when you're going northbound on White Bear Avenue or any street, for instance, and you get to Maryland, you're going to find that Maryland is 1200. Okay? And so if you go a half a mile south, of Maryland, remember 240 numbers south, you're going to run into Case. This Case is a half mile south of Maryland. It's 240 numbers, so Case is 960. So relatively quiet. I'm going to turn the I'm going to pull over, and I hear a few beeps or some questions. So I'm just going to pull over here. We're just south of Maryland. So, all right. Somebody asked who is with me. No one's with me. I'm by myself. I do patrol with other people sometimes, but not so much during COVID. COVID has changed, you know, everything that we're doing. I usually work the streets for about 4 hours, usually about 10 to 2. But tonight it might be a little earlier. My son's got a football camp in the morning that I got to get him to. So here's a question. Could I explain the difference between the police department and the sheriff's department? All right, I'm going to drive while I answer that. That's a great question. So every city, every municipality has the right to have their own police department. And many do. You know, 300 in Minnesota. Many have their own police departments. And the police departments are responsible for responding to calls for service, investigating crimes that occur in those areas. So that is the primary job of the police department. So the sheriff's office, there's one sheriff in every county. There's 87 counties in Minnesota. And the sheriff's office has a set of mandates in statute. One is to run the jail.
Squad 376.
So when people bring prisoners to the jail, when they arrest somebody, they bring them to the sheriff's office at the jail. That's number one. Number two, court security. We're very involved with court security. I'm just going to turn up Flandreau here. I was kind of avoiding going to that call. Remember that call where the man and the woman were fighting in the 900 block of Flandreau? I think the squad's already been here and cleared, but just in case, we'll just go up there a little further ahead. So sheriff's office has the jail and has court security for all the judges bringing the prisoners to court and protecting the court, etc. the third mandate really is running water patrol. And the sheriff's office is responsible for the water. In fact, as you know, yesterday night we recovered an 11-year-old boy down in Hidden Falls. And so it had been drowned a couple days earlier. Terrible thing is we haven't released his name, but there'll be a story in the morning paper. I think the family's talking to the media. Terrible thing. People should stay out of rivers. They're just very dangerous with currents and undertows. So you got jail, courts, and water patrol. Now here's what gets interesting. If a city chooses not to have a police department, they can contract with the sheriff's office. And 7 cities in suburban Ramsey County have chosen to do that with us. So we provide primary police service for 7 cities. And those cities have changed over years. Some cities decide to go with a different city. You know, of course, after the Philando Castile case, we took over in Falcon Heights as well. So we are the primary police agency for about 1/3 of the county in the suburbs up there. So then the other thing is, if there's regional problems such as narcotics, the sheriff's office provides what's called the regional task forces, where all agencies participate to combat crime problems such as drugs, violent offenders, etc. So the police department have their role. Any of the cities that we provide service for at any point could say we're going to provide our own police department, but they find it's more efficient to have supervision. Instead of every city having a sergeant working, we might have one sergeant working that supervises 7 cities. So that was a great question. There's probably some other nuances there too, but so I am going to pull over again so I can legally look down at a text and answer a couple other questions. I'm at 7th Street, as you know. There's a detour up ahead, but I think I can still pull over here and get some questions in here. All right, so next question. Am I in a marked car? I am not in a marked car. However, I have complete lights, front, back, couple different sirens. So this squad's fully capable of responding. It has stop sticks as well for pursuits. Of course, some of those people saw that light and they're stopping. So, but it's a fully capable squad car. It is pursuit rated. It is pursuit rated as well. All right, so explain the mask order. I'll try to get that explained sometime today. Mental health workers and substance, trauma, forensics. We see challenges between our clients and officers. This includes how clients are approached despite staff advocating. How can the community... Well, we're definitely going to have to figure out a way to get mental health workers working side by side with law enforcement officers. We either got to start training mental health people to be cops, or we got to pair them up. And because it's a huge issue, 70% of the people in our facility, 70% of the people in our facility have mental health issues. I'm going to keep moving here so we can get the radio on. We can maybe get you in the middle of something going on as well. But the mental health, the chemical addiction, let's just face it, there's 3 key issues in our jail. The people in our jail, 75% of them aren't functionally literate to be able to read and succeed outside. 80% have some form of chemical addiction, drug of choice, and 70% have mental health issues. So there's lots of work to be done. We do train our officers. We've been doing that for years. 20 years ago, some people with mental health got injured.
Bravo 552.
But and
Sorry, Cindy, you can put me back up on 3.
some cases were shot. I mean, there's been, you're aware of the Barbara Snyder Foundation. I mean, there's just tons of work that needs to be done.
366.
Problem is, you know,
366.
these officers out here
You put me on that.
have to have so many different skill sets. And, you know, the things can change dramatically in the course of,
06 at the end.
you know, I've only fired my gun once at, this was a car involved in a robbery at the Clark station back on Rice Street. Most cops will never fire their gun, but I'll say this, you know, I guess I did fire a warning shot once. The warning shots used to be legal back in the 80s. But the cops today, it's far more dangerous now than it was back in the 70s and 80s. The level of weaponry that's out there is just threefold as bad as it used to be before the gang and drug problem evolved.
170 to copy and route to now 1 calling Concordia 242.
I'll see if I can get back on a main street there. It's a little more interesting when you got a little more light. Like I said, this is our first time with this show, and appreciate you tuning in and having interest.
532.
You never know what's going to happen out here. You just,
532.
that's part of the great thing about being a police officer.
Mark this is up. I'm right at PCN. Mark for 420-283 in transit.
The variety of what can happen and what does happen. It
Copy.
keeps the job interesting. It's sad to see that so many Minneapolis officers are leaving the career. I don't really know personally any of their leaving, but I know from reading the news reports that whole incident was at the 3rd Precinct had an impact on them as well. But by and large, I think police officers come on this job because they want to help people. I mean, you know, I was in Boy Scouts as a younger person, and you want to find a way to be there to help people when they're in need, and this job does provide that. There's nothing better than having the look on a person's face when you help them. I remember a couple times in my career that I helped people that couldn't speak, and you know, just sitting them in the car and writing notes back and forth, and you know, to understand what their needs were. And when I remember one in particular got out on University Avenue and mouthed the words "thank you" to me through the window. I tell you what, there's nothing more fulfilling than to have a person that can't talk mouth the words "thank you" to you because you took the time to. I remember it was a car accident. They were trying to figure out where their car was going and was going to get towed because it was total. So most cops, I got to tell you, most cops just want to find a way to help people, and sometimes arresting people is helping victims. There are bad people out here. I mean, let's just cut to it. I mean, there's 50 to 75 hardcore gang members out here that are out here harming people on a nightly basis, and they need to be incarcerated. But we're talking about 50 to 75 out of thousands and thousands of people in this town. So the numbers are manageable if we're willing to take some actions and some steps to do it. We're over here at Minnehaha Arcade. We're westbound on Arcade. Oh, there goes a gentleman walking in front of us. We're going to drive up Payne Avenue here and then down Arcade. Like I said, I don't normally start till 10 because usually the activity usually starts around 10 or 10:30. But I see some more text. Remember, the number is
We have caller reporting
hang on.
10 people fighting at the area of Hawthorne and Greenbrier.
All right.
373 GOA, I'll go.
Hawthorne and Greenbrier, 10 people
Copy,
fighting.
373.
That's right by the playground up there.
Still 3
We're gonna head up that way. We're gonna head up that way in Hawthorne and Greenbrier and see who's fighting. Hopefully the fight won't deteriorate. There goes the squad there. He's headed up there too. You know, it's all depends on the nature of the call in terms of whether they go red lights or siren. Truthfully, we'll get there with speed. I have an Opticom on here that we can hold that green light. Oh, I don't know what that is. We got a fire run now too. That's a medic going down Phelan Boulevard. We don't.
Squad 267.
We don't get all the medic calls. I'll tell you this: in the sheriff's department up in the suburbs, the agencies in the suburbs go on all medicals because they only have a skeleton medical crew. But in St. Paul, because you have the finest medical service in the country right here. I mean, literally the finest medical service and fire department. They handle all the calls, so the police officers are not notified of the medical calls that they're going to. So keep in mind, Hawthorne is 1 block north of Maryland, so that's where we're having. Greenbrier is a block east of Payne, so we're headed up here, see if there's 10 people fighting. I gotta be honest with you, most of the time if it's just a fighting call, they're usually gone by the time we get there. But we'll see tonight. The squad's up there ahead of me, he's taking a right. Maybe he decided to go straight to Hawthorne. Alright. Passing Maryland, see the squad up there, taking the right to go
2149.
down to Greenbrier. If you just joined us, we're headed to a fight call, 10 people fighting. Hawthorne and Greenbrier. What was going on over there? A little fight or what? Oh, what? Was it you guys? Are there still some people out in the street there? Not, you know. Anybody? Would you hear any weapons at all, or anybody threaten anything?
366.
Just a normal fight? Nothing really. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your help.
Just to investigate. It'll be advised.
Copy at 2150.
So, two squads out here, but
6164.
I'm just gonna roll them by here.
No response, 2150.
Person, sir, 140.
Copy 367.
All good?
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Hold up, back in Chicago, somewhere
There's two parties inside right now. They're sitting down.
If there was a fight, it's over.
Confirm that the cop is the owner.
Squad said they're good.
Otherwise, we're going to need some more squads here.
Company 10 barrel truck on Tuesday.
Tell you the other thing we get a lot late at night, we get a lot of street racers at Energy Park Drive.
I'm at Vacant Uni. Copy, you can go around the south side to the alley just in case they try and book it. Copy. 631, what do they have?
631, you're on 3.
I'm gonna run back to the west sector here. Sounds like a little bit busy over there on the west side, on the university area.
Last word, go ahead.
631, what do they have in West?
423 University for an alarm. There are 2 people inside. I'm trying to verify if there's anyone supposed to be there. Code 166.
Westbound on Maryland here at
166.
Edgerton.
Per TC, the caller is not the owner, just one of the managers.
All right.
166 are walking out.
Happy prayers are walking out.
All right, well, it's 8 minutes to 10. Unfortunately, things get busier after 10. I'm not sure if it'll happen tonight, but it usually does. So shooting here 2 nights ago at the Speedway here.
All right, 167, we're out with the 2.
Arkwright,
Being cooperative.
Arkwright,
We
Maryland.
talked to the manager and see
Listen,
what any of the
the
owners.
victim here got shot in the head, went through his cheek and in the arm, and he actually had been shot once before over on 600 block of Charles. Not a good sign, of course. But fortunately, he did not die. Otherwise, we would have had our 19th homicide of the year in St. Paul. Crossing back over the freeway, and you can see the traffic is starting to build. People are out and about, moving around. A lot of people going places. Tomorrow the mask law does come into effect. You don't have to wear them when you're outside socially distancing, but when you're in a restaurant going to and from your table, you have to have it on any public spaces that you're in, that you're not eating or drinking. And mask will have to be on.
Name of Opti.
I don't think there's going to be strict enforcement, but it will help reduce the spread. We all got to get behind getting this spread stopped. So the big thing is keep your 6 to 8 foot distance, and if you can't, make sure you got a mask on so your breathing particles don't affect anybody else. We're going to drive down Rice Street. I don't think we've been down Rice Street yet. We crossed it. Show you our substation there. Show you where Mezzy Ross was shot and killed there at Rice and Winnipeg. I would say if there's any one spot that has majority of shots fired, it's Rice and Winnipeg. And so our gang unit does an awesome job. I mean, there's St. Paul gang unit is monitoring it as often as they can, but it's a tough crew down there. There's some days that I don't even feel safe driving down Winnipeg when the crowd of gangsters are out there in the street doing their business. You need to have a partner down there. So we're gonna go south on Rice Street. Got the turn signal on here. Yeah, we'll wait a cycle. But Rice Street hasn't really been, outside of Rice and Winnipeg and Manitoba, where we had a house full of gangsters there that lived in that area, and now they kind of returned. Rice Street has been relatively safe. Like I said, most of our shots fired shootings over in Frogtown, between Western and Lexington, north of the freeway. And then over here on the east side where we just came from, between Minnehaha. Sadly, if I sit down in Minnehaha and Forest or Earl for a couple hours on any given night, there's a good likelihood I'll hear some shots fired. It doesn't mean someone will get shot. It's just that there's a preponderance of gunplay. Sometimes it's celebratory, but We usually do have some type of shooting after a funeral of someone that was shot and killed by another faction. I mentioned to you earlier, for those of you that are on there, that we began the show over at the reception for Bajan Adams, who was shot and killed here at Western and Concordia. And there's a lot of hurt feelings, as you can imagine. So we're in Central District. I'm going to switch us to Channel 2. You'll still hear some of the broadcast. Oh, I got to recommend this, Dar's Double Scoop. If you ever get a chance to stop here at Dar's. How's everybody? How's the ice cream? Is Kevin in there? The owner? You tell him Fletcher said hi. Okay. Best ice cream ever. Yeah. Oh, here he goes. You got a guy. It's 3 minutes to 10. He's serving the community ice cream. He's not afraid to be open. It's seriously one of the best vendors there. Dar's Double Scoop on Rice Street. Say hi to Kevin if you're here. Mama's Pizza, of course. Tony cooks the best pizza in town here on the right. And we'll get down here to Rice and Winnipeg. One of our continued hot spots.
Looks like single caller. They heard 4 shots in the area of Lewis Park, 900 Marion.
Oh, there we go.
Nothing else seen or heard.
4 shots heard at the Lewis Apartments on Marion. That's just 2 blocks west of where we're at here. We'll slide over there too. But let's see, some Bourne's Bar. How's it going? Everybody all good?
21:15.
Bourne's Bar on Rice Street. Sometimes we have cameras up here. We're going to drive down Winnipeg. Oh, there's a camera right here, either police department or sheriff's department. Got a camera on our right. That's the police department camera. We've used ours just to keep an eye on these guys. There's nobody here tonight, so go ahead. How's your night going? Good. Love it. Beautiful weather, huh? So Winnipeg is clear for some of those gang unit guys that are monitoring this broadcast. Winnipeg is clear. So I'll turn around here in a minute.
167.
Take a few more
I'm clear.
questions.
I'll take your suspicious on Van Buren and check the area.
Suspicious call over on Van Buren.
Both guys are giving the second caller now, but nothing further other than they heard 4 shots.
We're going to drive over to the Lewis area. Lewis Apartments on
281, copy.
All right.
6 call him in the air, that shot.
Copy 6-1.
I'm just going to pull over here. We get so many shots fired calls. I mean, half of them actually are fireworks, and some of them, all right, let me just go. I'm pulled over now. I got some questions here for me. What's the most rewarding part of the job? I hope I explained it, just being there to help people. I mean, there's nothing better than just being there to help people. Let me see what else we got here.
1225.
I don't know the names of who people are, but
Clear advice. Yeah, I can't be LSP. Just stand for a mill break.
why did I decide to become an officer? That is a great story. Glad you asked that. And then somebody wants me to drive down Timberlake. Timberlake. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drive down Timberlake while we're talking. But the police officer story is a funny story. I was at Hamlin University.
And on a couple blocks.
First of all, I went to Hamlin to be a doctor. And after 2 years of mixing chemicals in organic chem lab and analytic chemistry, I said, you know, this sitting up and watching everybody else out the window play softball, I wanted a job working with people. So I went to my advisor, Dr. Harrigan,
Scott 532.
and I said, what can I do
532.
that would be more people oriented?
St. Peter for female.
And he said, well, have you thought about being a lawyer?
And
And I said, yeah, that wouldn't be, I enjoy that. So I checked in with my parents, of course, and they said it'd be fine if you switched from being a doctor to a lawyer. And I graduated in a pre-law program in political science and government. And I was down at the Burger King on University and Fry. It's not there any longer, but for those of you who remember it, there was a sign on the wall that said police officers wanted. And the person I was with said, hey, Bob, you should be a police officer. And to be honest with you, I'd never thought about it. And he said, no, you would be a good one. So frankly, I took the job, I took the test in November of 1976. John Harrington was in the Civic Center with me.
287.
There was 1,981 people.
Go ahead.
And by May of the next year, when I was graduating from Hamlin, they offered me a job. And to be honest with you, my parents thought, no way. They wanted me to be a lawyer. So I promised them that if I'd go back to Willie Mitchell part-time while I was a police officer. And I got to tell you what happened. I fell in love with the work. I never felt like it was work. And I just enjoyed every minute of it. So never went back to law school.
2x4. I didn't have it.
Thought I would, but didn't. And so it was really, it was an outreach program to try to hire people from the city. That it was a sign that I happened to see. So I don't know. It's funny how life changes. But here's the point. Here's the most important point. I couldn't get hired today because back then they let people of different degrees and different experiences get hired. Now we have a very narrow pool of people that we can hire from. So people that are looking for career changes or went to college in a different field, even mental health. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we could hire people with mental health degrees or addiction degrees? But we can't because they have to have a 2-year law enforcement degree. And so one of the things I want to do is broaden the pool of who we can actually hire so we can get some of those additional skill sets in there. But if it was today, I couldn't get hired. You know, speaking of those shots fired, you know, the controversy last year about ShotSpotter, you know, Minneapolis has it. It's a great tool, and ShotSpotter can tell whether or not it's fireworks or real guns. It can even tell if the type of caliber, and it can tell if there's more than one gun involved. And here's finally the amazing thing about ShotSpotter technology. It can tell you if the gun is moving while it shoots, so we can tell whether it's a drive-by or a walk-by.
279.
But if the echo of the round is moving while it's in a car, it'll tell us, and it'll tell us which way it was shooting, and we'll know, you know, within 30 seconds that shots have been fired. Versus now, when people call in, it's at least 2.5 minutes till we get the information on that. So I just wanted to mention that as well. So we're going to drive by down Timberlake, and I got a request to drive down there. I got to tell you, I started working in McDonough Homes with the Hmong community back in 1990 when I was in charge of the juvenile unit. And back then we had the White Tigers and Cobra gangs forming. And so we started a Boy Scout troop in McDonough. Rich Stratka, who was a commander sergeant at St. Paul, but a commander retired, ran the troop. And we started a reading program eventually there as well. But the point is, there's a lot of immigrant kids in a lot of these poor neighborhoods that we can save if we help them when they're elementary school and junior high, before they slip into the gang life that becomes the alternative. But McDonough's always...
5366.
Hang on one second. McDonough Homes has always been
366.
a place for people to transition.
And it's 5 to assist. We have a silent alarm covering glass break at 1546 Street East, Harding Senior High School. No visual. Correction, there's a visual of a vehicle in the main parking lot.
Copy.
So we got alarm at Harding High School.
382.
There's a car in the parking lot. Glass breakage. Obviously, that's way over by White Bear and 6th Street, so nowhere near us.
386.
Because we're going up Jackson here to Timberlake. On the right here,
386.
McDonough Homes.
You can clear my GOA and send me that one.
Copy, Street.
A couple months ago, right, we were here for, there was a homicide in the parking lot. I'm going to drive there right where it was. It was a terrible scene. And I don't remember his name. I can look it up here and remind you, but I can show you where it was. And it was a lot of people were unhappy and yelling and angry. We ended up having 50 to 60 police officers here to secure the scene. It's right here off of Timberlake and Jackson. Right where that car is, that's where the gentleman's body was. He had been at a party in this home to our right and had an argument. But Dan Selkolowski, who used to be working at the sheriff's office, he texted me and said he wanted to drive down Timberlake for old time's sake. So here we are, Dan, and a lot of people made the jump to mainstream America from right here. This great community center. We used to coach soccer out on the fields here as well with our young Hmong kids. Dan was a dispatcher, returned deputy, good friend at the sheriff's office, and then he retired. Pretty quiet here, but like I said, back in the 90s, we had the proliferation of Asian gangs, and what we did then is that was the beginning of the forming of, actually it started in the late 80s, ACOP, a community outreach program. And as you'll see, St. Paul has several cars here, so they have their community outreach program headed out of this McDonough Community Center. And I gotta give a shout out, if anybody knows John Gutzman, the executive director of St. Paul Public Housing. John Gutzman is one of the finest human beings I've run across. Just does an outstanding job managing the facilities and employees, and I gotta tell you, we're just so lucky to have some of the best public housing that there is. So in a couple minutes here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop episode 1, and we'll start right up with episode 2. I hate to do that to you, but we want to keep these videos a manageable length. I was hoping to keep them an hour long, but we'll start episode 2 right away after we start here. So McDonough Homes, Timberlake. Dan, I hope I did it justice. Mount Airy, of course, is, you go far enough south on Jackson, you run into Mount Airy, and that's where we started the sheriff's literacy program as well. Keep people, help people learn how to read. And now, of course, our latest immigrant community is the Somali community and a Karen community, and the sheriff's youth literacy program is working to help the Karen community as well. In fact, we're starting last winter we started a hockey program. So I am going to turn on this street here, stop the camera, and get it set up for episode 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I don't even know how many people were actually on, but it's very kind of you to listen to me, and I'll take a look at the questions here while we stop too. As you can tell, I'm pulling the camera out. All right. We're back. I don't know how many people are back. Let me just check to make sure I'm up and running. All right. Thanks for coming back to watch. It's episode 2 of Live with the Sheriff's Office. I'm just going to stay stopped here and see if there's any other questions people have before we jump out there. Hello, Diane. Thank you for watching and saying hello. Appreciate that. I'll drive by first a couple times. Spotlight, I do not have a spotlight, but I'll tell you what, I have 2 flashlights that are absolutely awesome. And you can see it there in there, how good those flashlights are. I don't have a spotlight because that kind of gives away the unmarked nature. I love having this unmarked car. Tonight I am in uniform, but I will tell you, most nights I'm not in uniform except for a star on my shirt. And there is an advantage sometimes to being able to sneak up on stuff. So, all right, here we go. Let's go back down Rice Street. Let's turn the radio up. I'm going to turn some of the suburban frequencies on as well in case something pops out there. Apologize if these radios get a little bit distracting. But I also have the ability to see what's going on through the CAD on the rest of the city.
Captain Bravo 483.
And, you know, everybody's got a lot of calls, alarm calls, assault calls, fire calls, but not a ton of like priority 1 or 2 calls.
eastbound to call Data, please.
Probation violation, probation order, civil problems. So
300 copies.
here we go, back onto Arlington, westbound. Yeah, and you know, the other thing is if you're going to sleep and it's 10:17, these videos will be posted, of course, at the end of the shift. See if I can raise that camera up just a little bit. But you know, of course, it is different not knowing what's going to happen. So it's. Back to Rice and Arlington. Sad to say, the old coffee cup right there on our right. Rumor is it's not going to reopen as the coffee cup. It was a great place to have coffee and see the Greeks, but
684, what's your location?
they're no longer. Ever since that fire, it was a terrible thing. Speaking of fires, you know, that Lloyd's Pharmacy, when I went to Hamlin and lived in the Midway, Lloyd's Pharmacy was a go-to place. Just can't believe that. Can't believe that got
Down that road.
arson. It's just devastating when I drive by it to see that the poor new owner there has been devastated by fire from during those protests. So, coming down Rice Street, for those of you that just joined us, you didn't see our first show, our first hour, we're on patrol in St. Paul on Friday night. It's 10:18. It's been really relatively slow. for a Friday night, but things usually pick up sometime after 10.
Go ahead.
Speed clear, advise 656 in Central.
So usually on the radio, if you listen to the police scanner, you'll hear the squads,
Copy 2219.
when they clear their call, they'll give a disposition. This last one was advised, will be clear advised. It means he didn't write a report.
684 would have been Orange Justice Road.
Sometimes they say
I
assisted.
still couldn't copy that. What road is it?
Dr. O'Hay, Justice Road.
Copy.
So south,
Road 206.
south on Rice again. Still looking for that stolen gray Challenger, Dodge Challenger. So keep an eye.
Affirmative. Regarding that detail on Ops 1 that 540 is going to be in charge of, 684 was just at Dr. Justice O'Haig, and there's about 30 cars lining up.
Copy.
I'm not sure which detail that is, but
Squad 510.
yeah, I'll check on that later.
510.
Clear advise today.
2220.
Again, the 500 cars are generally the beat officers downtown.
366, it'll be a false alarm 382-386. Copy at 2220.
So they were at an alarm call. They cleared it as a false alarm. Looks like the Roseville cars are out at the Key Inn on Cleveland. Get a lot of calls to the Key Inn or the Motel 6 out there on Cleveland. And I don't know the nature. Right now they're just investigating it, but you can tell by looking at the screen they've got 4 Roseville cars out there at the Key Inn. I'll turn that radio frequency on in case something happens.
167 GOA.
2221.
Now 167 is the squad number, and GOA means gone on arrival. If you hear that, it means they got to the call, the problem or whatever it was gone on arrival, so they'll say GOA. Gone on arrival. It's my favorite stop every night. I try to get in here before midnight.
Information squads, West and Central outside. Dispatch Console 1, 2222.
West and Central, that means that Channel 1 and Channel 2 are being dispatched by the same dispatcher. Normally they're separate, but when they take a break, they tie the channels together. So now the calls from the Western sector and the Central sector will be put on the same radio. But this Holiday gas station at Riceham, Pennsylvania is my favorite stop. It's really the center of the universe when it comes to St. Paul, and try to stop here. I mean, I got to admit, what I usually get is Twinkies and a Mountain Dew. Just so you know, I'm not probably the best eater when I'm out on patrol. But there's something about Twinkies and a Mountain Dew to keep you energized while you're on patrol. Half the time they've been out of Twinkies though. So here we are, Riceham, Pennsylvania. Truthfully, not a lot of crime happens here, but everybody comes here. It's just very, very centrally located. They used to be open all night, then they closed at 2, and now they're closing at midnight. Partly because of COVID. Again, in the spirit of mental illness, every once in a while you're going to see people that are struggling here. Because it's a place to come. And there's always a strong smell of pot in the air. That's the one thing. How's it going? There's got there? A lot of activity here. Central spot. I do on occasion take my son on a ride along with me. And this is his favorite spot too. All right, we're going back to Rice and Como. Got the radios on, it's scanning, not a lot. Hopefully you can see the... This Charles Street is always busy. I usually swing by here, say hi to a few people. We're at Charles and
184, 187, and 182 can be 10-8. We'll take that noise to service.
hang on one second. Hang on one second. Seems to be a little traffic jam here. There's a lot of parties. I'm just... All right. A lot of parties here on... See, you gotta be friendly. You guys gotta get out and disarm people. How's it going, gentlemen? Beautiful night? Everything's going good? Like your t-shirt.
It's not a shirt, it's a dress.
I know, it's a dress. I love it. Love the artwork on it. Take it easy. Take it easy. It's a big apartment complex here in Charles. But these people here at 154, I usually talk to them. They're usually out in front, 154 Charles, but they're not out tonight. How's it going? Good. How's your night going?
Oh, it's going good. I'm just over here visiting my mom from Brooklyn Park today.
Oh, very good. Welcome.
Yeah, man.
Welcome.
Have a good night, man.
You too, buddy.
366, I'll take a minute.
How's it going, bud? So, just, if you just make some trips, let them know you're out here, but in a friendly way, neutralizes a lot of stuff. So it's not really that hard. And,
What's that, 1810-9?
Can you repeat location you're transporting to?
1689 Beechwood.
Receive, thank you. 2027.
we'll run out there later on tonight to see if the street racers are out there. They're usually on Energy Park Drive out there past Snelling. That's their favorite place. And between Snelling and 280 there, they'll race, and hundreds of kids will park their cars in the parking lot. Hundreds of kids will park their cars in the parking lot and root them on. I'm going to go down to Mears Park and just
100.
we can talk about the homeless problem.
Can you get a chance to save a call data, please?
There's obviously been an explosion of homelessness.
2328.
Well, nationwide. Part of it COVID and economic related. But have a good one. But
Squad 363.
I tell you,
363.
St. Paul and Ramsey
Can you
County
show me en route to 1506 Edgerton?
have worked hard to try to address the problem, but at this point haven't really come up with a great solution. We try to help out as the sheriff's office with delivering food and transporting people, but some logical plan for shelter and homes has to be developed, because we're just, I would say our lack of coordination as a community on this issue of homelessness is a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. And we can do better. We can do better. I think actually Minneapolis is doing a little bit. Part of it is that the state has a bunch of money that they don't necessarily want to give out. The county has part of the responsibility, and the city has other. And of course, the people that are really doing the heavy lifting are Catholic Charities. You know, Tim Marks and Chris Michaels over at Catholic Charities are doing an unbelievable job. But, you know, they need help. They need help from government to handle the increase. And now, of course, we have COVID affecting the homeless, and that's a huge problem. And of course, you know, Powderhorn Park in Minneapolis is a great example of people don't have solutions. They use parks. So we ought to be good enough to provide some type of shelter that has bathrooms and showers and some level of safety. But our Mears Park down here has turned into just you know, they had to turn the stream off in Mears Park just because, you know, things were ending up in the water that shouldn't be in the water. So they, rather than have it contaminated, and you know, we're better than that. We can figure out a way to provide some efficient quality shelter, but there's so many different opinions. We just need some leadership on that issue. I'm going to leave it at that, because you know, I'll probably get a call or two in the morning, you know, about it. But we can be better. That's all I'll say. So downtown St. Paul, you know, we Mickey's, of course, there. It's closed, but it's been an icon of St. Paul for many years. You won't see the streets this wide open as often, but St. Paul Hotel, it's where my wife and my reception was when we got married. We got married over at Assumption, a couple blocks away, and then had our celebration at the St. Paul Hotel. And by the way, dear, if you're listening, that was the greatest night of my life, marrying you. So, Kincaid's, of course, is right here, and then we're gonna go down 5th Street. See the transit stop. The transit location sometimes is, well, this guy wants to go across the street there, I guess. But there wasn't a crosswalk. Scooters are back, I guess. If you're wondering, we do have the radios on, and tonight, partially because of the weather, call load is relatively low. You know what'll happen as soon as we go off the air? Something big will happen. So, crossing Wabasha, 5th Street.
5181 close.
I guess the scooter wants to roll. How fast can you go? Yeah, you got to watch those rails. Those bumps can be tough, can't they? Says he can go 15 miles an hour. But it's not unusual for us to have some problems down here on the 5th Street Metro Transit stop.
Squad 532 at copy B, noise complaint. Downtown Gator, Central Scudaback at Lower Town Lofts, 255 Kellogg, for loud talking and people drinking in the alley.
255 Kellogg.
539. Just to be advised, we'll be en route to that.
We'll slide over there.
Copy 532, you can be clear.
Loud talking and people.
123, 39 King Cancel, there's nobody out there.
Oh, she just canceled.
Copy that. 539.
When you hear the squad say they're 1023.
And Squad 539, I'm going to have you en route to the alarm at Viking Apartments, 467 Wabasha, was covering the 4th floor motion. Key holders are already on scene in a white Ford pickup truck. He said that there's some skateboards out back, but he has not gone in to clear the building.
Copy now.
At 2234.
Anyhow, when you hear a squad say 1023, that means they've arrived at the call. Typically what'll happen is the dispatcher will give them the call, and often you'll hear numbers at the end of the dispatching. Well, the numbers are the time, and they use a military timer, a 24-hour clock. So right now you might be hearing 22:34. That's the time, and that's so that the audio tape or digital tape is time stamped, so if people listen to the call, they'll know when things were. So that's why. But when they arrive, they say 1023. I'm just checking that couple out there. I wasn't sure if they're arguing or not. And then when they clear, they'll give a disposition and say that they're 10-8, which means they're back in service. So 1023 means they've arrived at the call. 10-8 means that they're back in. Here's the Intercontinental right here. But sometime we'll talk more about the Intercontinental. The county did attempt to house the homeless there for a period of time, and depending on your gauge of success, there were some problems with using that location, but we need a solution. Anyhow, you're going to see a fair number of people on the streets down here. I'm going to drive down to Mears Park too. My favorite store, outside of my favorite gas station, of course, is Candyland, which is right up here in Wabasha. I don't think they're open. You know, you never know with Candyland, they might be open. But you got to get some cinnamon bears if you're at Candyland. That's the best. Our planning director, Kyle Meestead, he brings me cinnamon bears once in a while when he stops there. And Kyle, if you're listening, I want to thank you for that, because that's my favorite candy, even though I probably need less calories. So I'm remarkably quiet for a Friday in July. However, it's good, kind of a good orientation for those of you that aren't familiar with the police department protocols. Let's see here.
Squad 284 and Squad 269. 284. 69. St. Clair Rec Center, 265 Oneida Street on a suspicious. Deputy Wild says that on the east side of the building, there's an open window. He's going to wait on scene there. He's in a blue Subaru Forester.
So you heard that suspicious window.
287, cancel 269.
St. Clair Rec Center. Probably, ended up being open because it was so hot today.
Deputy 269, you're clear.
Is this like a Ramsey County deputy, or what kind of deputy are we talking here?
Thanks, 287.
It doesn't say. Doing a search, I don't have any employees with Wild as the name.
Copy, thank you.
It wasn't our deputy calling in. I think he wanted to know.
You're welcome, 2237.
All right, Jackson Street. So, sadly, you probably can't see with your my camera, but this is Mears Park. There's 3 or 4 homeless people there. It's just, squad is actually there. There's another. They arrested, a couple weeks ago, they arrested 10 people for narcotics violations here. How's it going?
Doing good.
Good.
How you doing?
Good. Nice night, huh?
Yeah.
5184. 5184.
Let me see.
I'll be out with 817.
Of course, the Bulldog's right here on the northeast corner of Mears Park. Great restaurant. If you ever get a chance to get out, one of my favorite lunchtime venues. Bulldog restaurant. How's it going, partner? I don't know. Maybe the criminals are watching Facebook. Gonna go east on 7th Street. Swing into the Super America, which is now Speedway. It's hard to change. It was hard for me to see that change from Super America to Speedway. Looks like they're not allowing people in. What do you think there? Oh, you know, they're just only allowing them in one door for COVID.
Park Security 568 DOT.
Copy, have a good night. 2040.
How's it going? Have a good night. All right, let's go back. Let's go back up 7th Street here to the east side, see what we can find. I'm going to turn a few more frequencies on up in the suburbs, but something might happen up there.
281. Myself and 284 Ramsey. Copy, 2241.
Holiday gas station. A few months back, a shooting here in the parking lot. United States Marshal's office actually shot one of the shooters. Actually,
119, can I be allowed to the gym?
happened to be a first car here, but it
Appreciate Road 2242.
terrifying incident for everybody that was in this lot.
322.
Everybody survived it, but
322.
You can send us pending.
Twenty-one ninety Oregon Falcon, open 911.
how's it going?
It's in 21 meters.
Yeah. Well, just making sure everybody's safe.
I thought you were one of those crazy guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there a central sergeant that can give the ECC supervisor a phone call?
362.
362.
201, say again.
Gotta take a phone call.
Can you give the ECC supervisor a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Thank you. 2243.
Yeah, I gotta let you go. I'm on. Thank you, though. Thank you. Bye.
With 370 to 972 Rose, weapons complaint, group of people outside, someone shooting a paintball gun.
All right, we'll run up there. 972 Rose. People shooting a paintball gun.
Copy.
2043.
Here's the Mr. Car Wash. Get our cars washed there. So, Forest is 940. So,
Bravo, 458.
Rose is 1 block south of Maryland. So we gotta go
I'm going to be out in the parking
You
lot
gotta
with
go
Juan.
up to Forest and then up to 1 block south of Maryland.
Happy with one in the parking lot for University, 2244.
Hopefully it'll only be paintball guns.
5181, status check at Oak Crest.
Hey, one more code.
Code 42244.
I do have my bottle of Mountain Dew here, even though I did not get a Twinkie yet. That's the only thing. It's like an obstacle course here, huh?
Spot 284.
Spot 284.
Is there someone from Park Security that could meet us over this location, please?
Copy. Checking channel 2 for anyone from Park Security.
Park Security 572.
Park Security 572. Can you respond to St. Clair Rec Center, 265 Oneida Street? Window or door?
I think we'll go up Arcade instead of Forest. Might be a little faster. Just
Copy. Thank you.
traffic moves a little quicker on Arcade than Forest.
And someone was chasing her with a spear. A female in her 20s wearing a gray sundress. Currently outside.
The old Whirlpool was here years ago. Now it's the Sun World Supermarket. A lot of jobs there that left St. Paul when Whirlpool closed up. Thankfully 3M is still here.
Squad's going to Maryland. Suspects now inside trying to get to the victim.
Still copy.
Alright. We gotta switch calls here.
322 will break. We'll head to the 1184 Maryland.
1184 Maryland. There's a person with a weapon.
Squad 363. Can you put my call back up pending for comments? I'll head to the 390 Maryland call.
So we're gonna go to that call first because we're close.
262 city traffic.
$5182 Tango. Sending you a phone call request in regards to
All right.
the vehicle crash that occurred at Key yesterday.
All right, 1184. So we got long blocks here. We know that Forest right here is 940.
168. Can I get my case number?
Red lights.
Code 4 Maryland. Right now they're slow.
Code 4 in Maryland means that it's under control. So
28.
this Cypress is 1,000. Add 60 here. Earl is 1160. Add another 60 for the next long block.
370, 322, and 363 clear.
It's 1120. So the next corner will be
322.
1180, and the call's at 1184. So it's the gas station on the corner, right here. And it looks like they've got things under control. But we'll just slide into the parking lot here and see what's happening. squads here. Just to read you the notes, what happened. Here's what happened. Here's how the call came in here at 11:84. Female came to the store saying someone was chasing her with a spear. Suspect is an Asian female in her 20s with a gray sundress, currently outside the address.
12126.
Victim was inside with the complainant. And then
126.
they got here and said they're code 4.
On a domestic.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if the squads have the suspect or if they're even still looking for them. But Asian female in her 20s threatening somebody with a spear. Here at the ARCO at Maryland and Duluth.
Bravo 458, check your status.
118, you can put me in 10 8. I'll take that from 120.
6913.
6913.
All right. Well, we got 3 squads here. Looks like they're inside talking to her. They got her covered. We'll go back to Sam, see if Sam's is closing up yet. I suppose the other thing we probably should have, nobody ever fully checked out that paintball call. The 900 block of Rose. We'll go back and check that
Squad
out.
113.
Back and check that out.
113.
You can clear this one out. GOA is 128.
Clear towards 50.
Bravo 458. Advise with Bravo Squad 10-8.
So,
That's clear 2221.
128, I'll take your DKT. Advise.
2221.
so remember, taking Earl, which is about 1060, but we got to go down to Rose is 1 block south
Last call, go
here.
ahead.
We're at 1060 Rose.
Affirmative 118 canceled you.
I appreciate that. We'll stay around.
And
Information squads on Fuller per latest update.
5181.
Suspect is a Tian, 39-year-old black male.
468.
Contact the report. You can send myself an aide to me the AOA.
Suspect. Real closely here. Squad's not taking care of that.
all right, so 860,
126, I got it.
863 Rose. Let me just see here. There's a new call on Rose here. 863 Rose.
24, clear. Advise. That's 118.
Oh, it's a DK party. Dialing 911.
467 on the first.
Suspect is still on scene.
All right. Well, it looks like that squad handled this
26 copies.
paintball gun already. Paintball call already. All right, what do I got here? Oh, you know what I got? I got my. I think my phone's about to die. I gotta cross the street and check. Sorry about that.
120, can we try to figure out where the suspect's at and possibly the suspect is going to create a vehicle description?
Yeah, BT's attempting callback.
Thank you.
2223.
The suspect description's a black male, 3956, heavy build, last thing wearing white
Hang up.
striped shirt.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna hang up. I'll call you right back. I'll be right back on. Sorry folks, we're gonna close up.
Unknown direction of travel, no plate. Suspect will fight.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that.
It's possible they get birth for this.
Sorry about that. We had a little battery charging issue.
166.
Wasn't originally planning to be on as long as we have been, but
Clear from the last
appreciate the fact that you're all enjoying it.
right now. Traveling about 50 down University on Grotto.
Starting to pick up busy-wise. It just, actually, before we hung up,
Probably have Minnesota.
right when we were hanging up, there was a foot chase over on Jackson.
Before November.
All right, we're back. Still at Maryland and Cypress. Got the phone plugged in. Hopefully that'll keep us running. All right.
184, what direction is 1661?
What the heck is that car? Oh, he's parked up there. Yeah, we're on Hawthorne now, just north of Maryland.
166, what direction?
Gonna head back over to the
I'm headed
University Avenue.
Okay, westbound University, Grotto.
here to just
Don't forget, if you're just joining us or you got a late night, you got a late start, just getting home, you can text me with any questions at 651-448-3810. 448-3810. And
484, almost 166.
so back on this chase policy we talked about, you know, it's a
168, where road 166.
everyone is a judgment call as to whether the suspect, if he's not apprehended, is going to continue to rob people or hurt people. I mean, obviously in a traffic offense, not so much, but there's a lot of experts out there that believe that, you know, your officers should be pit trained or pursuit intervention techniques so that you can stop the car as soon as possible versus letting the chase go on long or letting the person get away. We do have a problem in that a lot of these young kids now do like to run, and I mean, the sheriff's office and the state patrol are two agencies that still do pursue.
To be assisted.
And obviously,
two in the alley behind Fitzgerald.
Obviously, if it's you know, a deadly force issue or something, most departments allow people to pursue. But for stolen cars that have been involved in some type of
squad that can instruct assist medic 647, selling number 205. 50 male, conscious breathing, has been drinking, difficulty balancing, flagged as violent.
yeah, let me know
182.
too. Text me if the picture's okay and how the video is. I know it is nighttime, but hopefully the picture and the sound are okay.
182, I copy that.
Walsh Street here, Johnson Ice Arena.
Split 261, I copy the 911 hang up.
Just to the north there, home of the Johnson Governors. Moose Young Hands, one of the finest human beings you're going to run across. Coaching those kids and teaching them to be great young men. I had the pleasure of
one in custody here. Can we get a squad here?
working with him.
Copy, are you code 4? Yeah, we're code 4.
Before him, of course, Louis Catronio.
Copy, code 4 behind Fitzgerald. Start a squad for transport. 10 Exchange Street East.
When I was young, Aldrich Arena was just built. The Govies were
Copy, 2301.
a great team, and they would end up playing International Falls in a state tournament. My dad took me to my first hockey game at Aldrich Arena.
Split 271, I copy the DOC.
To watch the Govies play the line of Shattuck, Hughes, and Krupe at Aldrich Arena, and that was my first falling in love with hockey, and it's
287, 190.
great sport. Moose Young Hands at Johnson does an unbelievable job. Hey, by the way, we're going to talk about our homicides rate more in the other shows, but on our website, on our website at the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. We also have posted all of those that have been murdered in this last year and the status of their cases. There we go.
539, can we start medics? 60-year-old male, conscious breathing, got some head lacerations, and we're going to need a boss out here also. 420 en route.
So basically,
starting medics 2302.
539's
monitoring channel 2.
out at 10th and Exchange down there, and they got a man with a head laceration down there. I don't know all the details there. It started as an investigate, and obviously it kind of went downhill, but they're calling for medics now. I don't know if it was a suspect or the victim.
261 GOA.
Copy 2302.
Bravo 815
Copy, have a good night. 2303. 329.
Every time I drive by 35 in Maryland here, I remember back in 1995, there was a chase, 150-mile chase.
Hand info, caller's daughter's on the phone.
Hang on.
The boyfriend's trying to beat her up.
That ended with the troopers
Copy.
shooting the suspect. St. Paul's got a squad stop there on Maryland.
So our comms calling from the senior living loss?
Nothing too much going
Negative.
on there.
That's where it's occurring.
All right, it's back to Rice Street. From
Department
down,
number at all or no?
back down to University
I
Avenue.
asked the TC, I haven't heard back. Thank you.
322.
Some lights are brighter than
Great.
others, aren't they?
Clear unfounded. You can.
Back in the Central District.
My call has an update that the suspect's back on scene. He'll be wanted for a VOOP if I can get a squad to assist. 322.
All right, VOOP. There's a VOOP call.
322.
VOOP is a violation of an order of protection. Generally speaking, domestic related or people living together, and usually the woman has gotten a violation, an order for protection, and if he shows up at the house, we'll go there and arrest him for a violation of an order for protection.
366, and I'll be on scene in a block. Yep.
We're coming from McKnight 94.
You know, actually the first person ever to live stream from a car was a deputy we had a deputy named Jeff Hendrickson. This is before Facebook Live, and we equipped him with a cellular car, and actually I was presenting to the Minnesota Sheriff's Association how the technology could actually live stream. And I was up at their conference and logged onto the internet. Back then we didn't have Facebook, but it was the internet, and we were streaming, and he got into a chase. Jeff Hendrickson, great deputy. He got into a chase, and then right on camera when they arrested the guy, the canine was there, and the canine jumped out and bit a St. Paul police officer. Actually, Josh Moore, Kevin Moore's son, who's now a sergeant. He bit the St. Paul police officer right on video while we were watching the chase, at the conclusion of the chase. But that was the first live stream. We never were able to afford to do it. Obviously, Facebook has made it all unbelievably simple. We're back at Bourne's Bar here. How's it going in there tonight? All good? Good? No problems? Just to say hi, make sure I don't get hit. You know? I don't want to get rear-ended. Have a good one. Yeah, not everybody's totally enthralled by seeing a police car. So, that was a bouncer at Bourne's. But they have occasional problems there, obviously.
Dale and Central, Alpha Golf Victor 236.
Somebody asked me if people are always friendly when I'm friendly. I remember reading that question a while back. No, but generally yes.
The officer that had potentially a suspect vehicle stopped at University Garage, that ended up being him, or is that
generally the people, if you engage them and talk to them, you know, and let's face it, not all cops do stuff that way. I get that. That's why I say there's different styles, but you got to have different tools on your tool belt, and friendliness is probably one of the most valuable that you can have. Just but you know, that's something that engagement or outgoingness isn't as prevalent in today's society. Let's just face it, as it used to be. So, but I choose to use it. I just think
you just got to go with on that accident with injuries.
Everybody likes somebody friendly.
310, you put our call back on pending.
All right, accident with injuries at Minnehaha and Jesse, which we're over at Rice Street, but we can sneak through here and get over to Minnehaha and Jesse. So it's a little.
Split 261, I copy the noise complaint. Split back 1540 Cumberland Street. Anonymous caller says people are on the patios on the second floor being loud.
Have to navigate how to get to the other side. Obviously, Phelan Corridor and Cayuga are the best two ways to sneak through.
Zero spot to go with 261 to the noise complaint.
I can advise.
Copy. Splitting 23 lane.
We're not really exceeding the speed limit here. We're just going at a regular pace. To be frank with you, sometimes the red lights make it harder for us. People often don't know what to do when they see them. So, like, it's a green here, but
Jacob Sawyer.
Sometimes it's
during downtown beat or
easier without the
start from Estes Medics 6th and Sibley for a person down the sidewalk side of the intersection.
537, we clear the supplement, and then we'll block out from that.
It's a tough call, the fastest way to get there.
On scene for that call, I'm already outside.
Could take a right, but I'm gonna go up here to Payne Avenue.
Got that. 2310.
Get off on Payne and then jog down to Minnehaha. Actually, the East Team Police Station is at this intersection.
300, copy the call. Can you send me that call, please? 631, we're going to need squad to block traffic with East Denver and Minnehaha.
So now that
when we get there, we'll block very shortly.
First squad is there. He's asking for traffic to be blocked at Bird.
3730 CRO. Response, Bluetooth. We'll check.
You notice not everybody pulls over for reds right away, but the worst thing is when they pull over to the left, and technically on the freeways that's actually legal, but it really confuses us when we're going to calls. We'd rather have everybody pull over to the right. So we're down here at the stoplight is Minnehaha.
Checking channel 2 for any CROs.
I don't know how close we'll actually get, see if they need any help or not, but
any CROs on channel 2?
you see the lights up ahead there.
Copy. Squad 198, copy to Knox Jail 2311.
Fire department is on the way here. We'll get out of their way so they can turn and get up here.
168. 168. No signs of force entry. Code 4.
Well, there we have it. I'm gonna get out for a minute. Plenty of cars here, but
283.
Squad 283.
I'll be back.
Female conscious breathing. Code 4 for medics.
Gabby 2313.
One, didn't see or hear anything else.
Somewhere fireworks is over at Hamlin. Minnehaha, and it was definitely fireworks.
Fireworks at 2313.
And 100 copies.
2313.
I know you're busy, but could you hear the info on the call about where this apartment might be?
Squad 525.
Squad 525.
Show me route to HQ with property.
Gabby 2314.
It's 2315. 322. I got one running. He's behind the brewery. 10-3 for 322. One running. He's behind the brewery. 64 road.
Somewhere if I get to Blair, do a call. And if squad wanderers location change to fireworks. Way at comments.
100
315.
Well, that didn't look too good. Young man was on a electric scooter or motorcycle, small one,
322 Austin.
and car is pretty dark. I don't know if he had any lights on.
Description.
Hello.
128.
406 admin and 901 call. Language line was used for Spanish.
There's what?
Female caller, so in distress. Stopped responding after confirming address. Unable to speak with our callback.
Second copy.
Can you say that again, ma'am?
128 copy.
2016.
All right. Anyhow,
20s.
quick phone call there. Young man on a scooter, and a car hit him. Didn't have a helmet on, and there was a lot of blood. He still was alive, but he got some serious head injury. So
261 GOA.
all right.
Gabby 2316.
Correction, he was actually westbound. copy. Westbound behind the brewery.
All right, just getting caught up on what's going on here. Shots fired, 1375 Charles.
We should have someone start setting up tape on the east side of this accident. 7-0, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, they're going to have to do an accident reconstruction. That's why they're setting up tape. They're going to have an accident, a crash reconstruction officer. That's why he called for a CRO.
631, he's locked on a CRO citywide.
Yeah, there we are, CRO.
Oh, yeah, negative.
They always trained us all into diagramming it, but to know how fast everybody was going and who might have been in the wrong, we have crash reconstruction officers.
One, 2, 6, take 4.
All right, so we're back down Payne Avenue, Payne and Tedesco.
126.
You can see there's the medic rig and a fire rig. They always send in addition,
126.
that's what's great about St. Paul Fire is
261.
they always send a medic rig and a backup fire rig. And they're all trained
This
in
the back
first aid.
at Children's, 345 Smith Avenue. It's going to assist medics outside of the entrance of Children's by the Mother Baby Center on the grass. Smith Avenue is a female down.
But St. Paul will always send a couple rigs. Part of it is if they need the help. Part of it's if one has an accident on the way there, there's always
Gary, 261, you can be clear.
redundancy built into the system. So, back onto 7th Street.
168.
I don't know if you were, if you saw the fireworks. Brought my son and some friends down for the fireworks at
and Creighton, Vandalia.
CHS Fields. It was amazing.
Sorry, Vandalia and Robin. Gold sedan, no place.
Check in 18.
Squad 269, Squad 261. In the area of 289 Goodhue Street for a DOC. Anonymous caller says they have no visual but heard a male and a female.
So
Male.
DOC is a disorderly conduct. It's a disorderly conduct down in Goodhue.
In Squad 211, I copy the fight 154 Charles. Several callers reporting two females physically fighting in a group of about 15 people filming at 2320.
Remember when we were by there earlier, 154 Charles, there's a fight out front. And there's a bunch of people filming. Apparently 2 women fighting. Let's slide back up there. I don't think it's the people at 154, but you saw the group out there. A lot of our problems in police where it come from intoxication.
Can you update our location in Creighton and Carroll, and we are code 4.
Check location and code 4, 2320.
We'll go a little faster here and see if we can break up that fight. We might be the first ones there. Oops. Looks like that officer is following that medic rig down to the hospital. That's probably the guy that had down on 10th and Exchange that had his head broken open. at some point we're probably going to move this transmission over to the sheriff's Ramsey County Sheriff page. I think we can. I think we're limited as to how many people we can notify on my personal page, so we might just make it a department function. So remember, we're headed up to 154 Charles. We're right in front of the Capitol now. Charles is 2 blocks north of University. We got University, Sherburne, Charles. And let's just hit the siren a little bit here.
631. 631.
Sadly, you also heard on this call, they said people are...
See if you can raise 516.
The girls are fighting and then the people are videotaping, which is...
At the elementary school, we'll get over there.
Sad commentary of where we're at nowadays. Sad commentary. Alright, well... As you can see, it appears we are the first ones here. We're passing Sherburne. Alright, we'll use the red light, see if we can scare them all into some normal sanity here.
Squad 516 on channel 2.
No, who's fighting? Somebody said there was women fighting. Is it over with?
Can you take channel 4 for squad
We got a
631?
call that people were fighting in front of this house.
Kevin.
Are we done fighting or what?
Squad 631.
Everybody's walking away once the police show up. Oh, here's some more people over here.
Is that 4?
We got a crowd over here down the block a little bit.
Chevy 2325.
Are we through fighting or not?
Yeah.
Are we through fighting or what? You got it? Yeah. Yeah. We don't. I know, but here's the thing. I'm gonna leave in a minute, but you guys are gonna have to quiet down. We can't. Hey, where's my friends from 154? You got it? Oh, there's my friend from 154. You do? All right. Well, in a minute, there's going to be 3 more squads here besides me. So, I'm telling you, here's the thing. If everybody's not gone, you see this? I'm the friendly police, the sheriff's office. All right. All right. Well, just make sure nobody's fighting, okay? All right? It's time to call it a night. See you later. All right, well, squad just showed up behind me. I'm sure he's going to advise them. Basically, nobody's fighting now, but they're never fighting when you get here.
Around to the regions following the rig.
My wife hasn't called me to stay safe. Stay safe.
Okay.
How's it going?
Good, Sheriff. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you. No trouble there. Just a little bit of argument, I guess, huh?
This has been getting
All right,
busy.
37.
A lot of folks hanging out on the
Squad 537.
Yeah, I know. It's getting to be the
Be a
place,
welfare
isn't
check
it?
if you're to be assisted with 283.
Well, there's a group at 154. They're pretty decent people, but everybody else hangs out here
We'll be
too.
back at Mears Park on the detail.
It's all the folks from downtown. They just migrated up here.
I think you're right. Well, go find something good for us.
All right, we'll do.
See ya.
120. 182.
Chevy 2326.
That was the St. Paul car.
Whiteville 55110. No shirt, black sweatpants.
I can go the wrong way.
You can do what you want to do.
28 copy.
See you. Have a good
22
night, huh?
Huh?
Have a good night.
Yeah, you said get the hell up out of here. We're gonna get the hell up out of here.
You're the best.
Yeah.
You're the best. You need any masks?
Yeah, I need one mask.
Here. Pass them around. Pass
Okay.
them around. Here.
All right.
320.
Pass them around. There's another one here.
There's just 3 of us with us. This is good right
There
here.
you go.
This is up. This is good.
There's another
What
one.
kind of gun you carry, Sheriff?
Glock.
Glock? Glock what?
40.
Man,
Yeah.
come on for the lead.
Huh?
Lock your ass in this truck.
Nah, he cool, bro. I fuck with him.
Good to see you guys.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe.
We leaving you, man.
All right. Thanks a lot.
We'll be in other regions.
Capital Regions 2327.
It's not that difficult just to talk to people. Sad thing is, you know, I gotta say it. I've arrested some families. You end up
172.
arresting the grandkids of the guys you arrested when you first started.
Cancel 120. I'll go with 182.
You guys need a barbecue over there or something. Little grill, little barbecue. Huh? With some music. A barbecue and some music. Huh? I'll help. I'll bring a barbecue down some night. And some charcoal. All right? So what do you like? Hot dogs or burgers?
261
Brats,
in the area.
if we're gonna be hanging out here tonight, you gotta have some food. Good to see. Yeah, you got it. Thanks.
I believe we just got a suspect on his call behind us.
All right.
Paying him anyhow. I'm not sure if he jumped the fence and went down into the park or if he's still in the area here.
I don't even know who's still awake out there. But
May have seen him behind the school painted haha.
hey, if you're just joining us, remember you can text a question to 651-448-3812. 3810. 448-3810. We're gonna go down University Avenue.
100 to copy. 2882 Ford Parkway, Chipotle on a robbery. Older male was robbed, requesting medics. No further info this time.
A robbery of a person at Chipotle on Ford Parkway.
Got it.
Very rare that we have any crime down there.
100 copies.
But we're going to slide by Willard's,
2020.
Thomas and Grotto, and we're also going to slide by the Trent Bar. The other place that we've been having, after midnight, about 12:15, we've been having some gang activity at Billy's on Grand.
320. 261, you can cancel.
With some ill will over that
Copy 269, you're clear.
Cody Pollard murder in Minneapolis. There's 3 suspects that were arrested for that. Two of them have been released on bail, and one is in the custody of our jail. We have a lot of murder suspects in our jail right now. Probably the greatest number we've ever had. So, as you can tell, the tempo of the night picks up. Picks up.
Yeah, 326.
Right about now. And
Suspect last seen running along Cleveland towards Finn. No weapons that were used, still waiting on description.
suspect in the robbery of person is ran near Cleveland and Finn. But that's too far for us to get down there, and frankly, a lot of squads aren't down there very often because there's very little crime in that niche.
329.
Dayton University goes way back. Remember when I said prostitution used to be on Uni? There used to be 2 nude dancing places. The Belmont here on the northeast corner, and the Flick Theater and the Faust Theater. All 3 corners had nude dancing back in the late 70s. And the Belmont was actually turned into a police station for a period of time. And the old Flick Theater now is the Rondo Library. But a lot of changes, a lot of historical changes down here. You can see a lot of people out here. It's
Robbery. 3 white males, 20 years old. They were recording. One tall with a white t-shirt. Other 2 were shorter with darker clothing.
See, this is a trend. Now, apparently there was three white males in this robbery, and one of them was recording. It's not unusual now to have some of these individuals try to record their evil deeds.
362. Sir, this is assisted, and we'll start with pending.
Anyhow, this is Grotto. We're going to swing up to Willard's, Grotto and Thomas. The nickel joints back there on Van Buren and McCubbin. Let's see what we got here first. Everything all right?
Clothing, black male.
That's not good.
Black baseball cap, Fletcher.
Yeah, where is the nearest gas station? I gotta run up here. I'll come back and check on you. In the old days, we used to feel comfortable giving people rides to the gas station, but in today's world, it just, well, first of all, we got so much equipment in our cars, there's really no room for anybody. But secondly, it's just the safety factor of giving people rides at 11:30 at night is just, fortunately, most everybody has a cell phone and a friend that can come and help them. I mean, obviously, if there's a vulnerable person out here, we'll do what we can to help them, but it's just, it's just different.
329, anybody
than it used to
out
be.
in this area, he ran alongside of
How's it going?
Bedford westbound towards Bedford from Maine.
So we're up here at Willard's.
Suspect from Hope Grand westbound.
How's everybody?
7 Looks
like a lot of people out here. Is it hot inside there or what? How's everybody? What's going on? Hey, it's Fletcher. You know, what's going on?
We're at downtown Beach Athletic Park for a shots fired call at 46 4th Street East.
How's it going?
Says there's been several shots
Good, how are you?
for the past 30 minutes.
Everything going okay?
Yeah. I'm just regulating out here. I'm the owner here. So.
Yeah, nice. I've already seen you before.
Yeah.
Pat, how long you owned it?
About a year.
About a year?
Yep.
Well, good for you.
Yeah,
you
so
get business.
trying to keep it, you know.
Yeah. Well, we don't have many problems up here.
No, not.
What's your first name?
Arlene.
Arlene.
Yep, Arlene Favors.
Arlene Favors. Does Pat Scott still come up here?
Sometimes, every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah, he works for us in the sheriff's office.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful guy, actually.
Yeah, tell him I said hello.
Arlene Favors?
Arlene Favors, yep.
I'm Bob Fletcher.
Bob Fletcher, okay.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Arlene.
You too.
Thank you. You too. I don't know if Pat Scott's still listening. If you are listening, Pat, you can send me a text. But Pat did some great community outreach here at Willard's over the years when he was one of the finest police officers on the street up here. And Arlene Favors says, hello, Pat. And it's good that you still stay connected there once in a while. And you said you were going to take Joe Miller up there to connect with the community. I hope you do that too. So.
For a half hour.
All right, so.
Hey, affirmative. And like I said, we also have the caller that said there was fireworks at Raspberry Island.
We're going to run down to the Trend Bar.
There's some fireworks going on.
We had a murder there, of course, just recently.
Yeah, that.
But we also had some shots fired there the night before last inside the bar. Actually, we're looking for a suspect involved in that shooting.
Checking channel 2 for CCTV.
All right.
Last go ahead.
We have cameras out here on you.
126, carry the case number.
Well, I should say St. Paul Police Department has cameras. Our employees monitor them
Case
for
number
them.
148,
But
867.
it's a pretty good camera network on University Avenue and other places to be able to monitor some of the cars and the activity in some of the hot spots.
That's any copy.
120 to 178. Still making our way down there, but are you wanting the perimeter?
See, that squad is still making his way down to Ford Parkway. It's just a long way. You can just text me on this phone. Yeah, I'll go back and check.
178.
Yeah. I'll get it. All right.
172 on our perimeter.
All right.
178. 178.
Negative on the perimeter.
All right.
About 15 minutes ago.
Victoria here.
15 minutes away.
Just gonna swing back down Charles, check on a house here. We have a fair number of shootings here on Charles.
Advised medics are staged in the area.
And we'll check on that guy with his gas, see if he got a plan to get gas.
We dealt with him earlier.
Copy.
Yeah, do that. That's been in the area saying it's fireworks coming from the College Mall. 525, do you copy?
Over in the area of Fort Parkway.
350.
Squad 15.
185.
There's 3 individuals in the alley between Pinehurst and Fort Parkway, and between Korean and Finn. We'll be making a stop here.
All right, let's
Should be traffic contact for people in the alley between Pinehurst
see if that guy was able to get his car started or if he has a plan for gas. Oh. Oh.
Squad
25.
We'll be behind 2134 Pinehurst. 2 white male, 1 black male, one's wearing white t-shirt. 2 others are close.
Oh, looks like the St. Paul police have had a
Yeah,
little
2 white males, 1 black male.
discussion with 3
Wearing
individuals
black
here.
dark clothing.
Yep. Who's the she? I just got here.
Okay.
Don't get too close just because of the COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Erin.
But you recognize me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Eric Anderson's niece.
Oh, you are. Very
Yeah.
nice to see you.
Yeah,
So,
nice to see you. She is a okay, bye Rose. She is a family friend, Bob.
yep.
We were sitting outside of Willard's.
Okay.
She started walking down at 14 years old.
Okay.
She's been known to do little videos with little boys and run away.
Okay.
She doesn't want to go home. She doesn't want to call her mom.
Was she in the back of the
She's
squad
in the
now?
back of the car. I told him if she doesn't tell her we live, she needs to go to juvenile until you guys can get a hold of her.
You know that you know they don't let us hold hardly anybody in juvenile anymore. The county has decided they don't unless it's
COVID, I bet.
well that yes, COVID is part of it, and they only are holding the most serious offenders.
She'll tell you if you guys do it.
And you and I both know that a lot of these kids need to be held for a while, right?
Yeah.
But the system doesn't do that anymore.
That's what he kind of said. So he
Yeah.
said he's going to threaten her with jail. Hopefully she'll tell him.
3 males that videotape.
Oh, so so they don't know where she lives?
We know she lives on Fuller, but she keeps saying she doesn't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then she'll be in a squad car for a long period of time.
Yeah. But thank you for
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Their GOA.
I'm gonna just check on our buddy with gas. Oh, actually, I think I'm on the wrong street here. Well, he's gone. Where's his? Oh, there he is. There he is. What do you think, Facebook fans? Let's see if he's got a phone. So you got a telephone to call help or what?
My girlfriend that broke my phone, man.
You want me? I can call her for you.
Oh yeah, man, I got called.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna
boss.
dial the number and you're gonna talk on speaker.
Got you, boss. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you bet. What's the number?
Let me get it. 651
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to remember these numbers. Yep.
Yeah, I got to wrote them down.
Yep.
335.
335.
Yep, 3327.
It'll be on speakerphone in the car.
25, we're close for you. 178 whenever you're ready.
What's her name?
Her name, Life.
Life?
Don't ask me.
335-3327.
Yep.
I suppose she ain't gonna answer my
Oh,
phone.
Suppose she answered.
How much
You
gas?
have reached the voicemail box.
Are you pretty sure you're out of gas?
Yeah, I'm out of gas for sure. I was just on my way to the
Here's the
gas
deal.
station.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run and get you some gas from the
Okay.
Holiday.
Okay.
They close at 12. I'm just gonna fly up there.
Okay.
I'll get you a can of gas and I'll bring it back. How much do you need?
Maybe about $6, maybe.
Huh?
$6, $7, maybe.
How far do you gotta go?
I gotta go. I'm gonna live in Maple Grove, but I'm gonna be riding for the night.
Hey, let me go get some gas. What's your first name?
My name's Charles.
Charles, I'll be back.
I got you, son.
All right. Don't go anywhere, Charles. Well, we got to get to the Holiday Station, get a gas can before midnight to help out our friend Charles. Hopefully usually Holiday has gas stations. Not all the time though, so I'm gonna close here soon.
271.
You should be out on traffic. Sherburne and
178 Southern Squad responding. You can cancel. This is not going to be a robbery.
Don't wait if I was on there. 5410. Come on a little bit. We're going to be at Sherburne and Arundel.
Oh, Sherburne and Arundel.
Copy, Sherburne and Arundel.
Hey, I might get my Twinkies now. There's the good news. I might be able to get the Twinkies when I get the gas.
We're good here. It sounds like vehicle fray. You can release tickets.
You see all these cars out here. We're on Thomas, eastbound on Thomas from Dale. Just a lot of people out. You can tell there's a lot of energy on the streets, and of course that energy usually goes downhill as people not downhill, but changes as people drink alcohol and consume. And then when the bars close at 1, 2, we have our busiest time. Well, if we don't get gas here, we'll find a 24-hour gas station somewhere that we can get gas.
If it's alright with 202, with the information that we can actually use to fireworks, please.
202, I got it.
Anyhow.
Copy, chase fireworks, 2345.
You can tell how
167 ULC, good night.
You know, working this job for years it's just, you know, it's done right, it's rewarding, put it that way. And you know, the relationship between the police and the community is always been pretty good. We have issues to fix. Let's just face it. You know, what happened to George Floyd was horrific, and every officer that I know that I've worked with feels that it was horrific as well. But our primary goal being out here is just to help people. Yeah, we like catching people that are hurting people. Yeah, there's some satisfaction in a good arrest. But that is part of our job. You know, just to You know, we're peacekeepers, but we also keep the peace by making sure people aren't victimized by the worst. And then we root for the worst to change. We want them to change. But all right, here we go. Let me run in. See if I can find a gas can. Park over here. You can keep an eye on me in case something happens. Oh, there's Susie Beeler. Susie Beeler's been a prostitute for 40 years. Hi, Susie. Oh, all right. I'm gonna run in, get the gas. The camera will be on, but I'm gonna see if I can get a gas can for the gentleman.
What, 279?
How's it going? Good.
Cool. Got it. Thank you both. You have a good night. 2348.
287 is the OT.
Yeah, that. Have a good night. 2348.
Code 174 on traffic.
Go for it.
Go for 2348.
Caller's daughter pulled our cop's hair, hit her with her hands, locked her out of the bedroom. It's very DK.
322 copy.
A white female, 35-7. Heavy set, yellow shirt.
Before I copy your block out.
Okay.
386. Anybody else going at midnight?
Arriving.
That's pretty.
Well, most importantly, I got my Twinkies in addition to a gas can. We'll just get some gas. I don't know if $5, 5 gallons is going to give them to Maple Grove, but that's the biggest can they had in there. Go to a pump without.
539.
What the heck was that?
539.
Gunshots.
Well,
there we have it.
Case number
gas is going to have to wait.
877 148 877. You're welcome. 2351. What?
2400. $2,400.
2400.
Yeah, I just heard 3 shots fired behind the gas station at Rice and Penn. A couple cars left, but I'm not sure. I think I might have lost the main car.
Gabby, there's some squads that can start towards the Holiday, Rice and Pin for 3 shots that were just started in the area.
211 for Ramsey.
You know, it's possible it's a backfire. Let's try another one.
Copy that, possibly from a vehicle's exhaust.
Oh, fuck. Pardon my language.
322.
Carry.
Well, well, I'm sure you could hear those bangs. Very difficult to tell where they were coming from, however. All right, well, nobody's hit. All right, well, let's get the gas for that poor guy. As long as we don't have a victim. That was some loud backfires.
271 Fletcher out.
Gabby, 2354.
$2,400 in either case. I don't see any victims around here.
Gabby, that not locating any victims.
One dictated Pepper, Special Squadron 543 Cleveland, Black Tahoe Suburban. Doors open at the address, 3 males running back and forth to the gas station vehicle, caller 16 may be breaking in. 116, I copy your ground. And 25.
I can hit that way.
Different company. Information Squad West Central 10 for Sherbrooke, Special Council 1 and 226.
3. Can I get 320 to 4?
60 going kind of busy, but I'll go 4 for him.
Copy that.
Reach.
Okay.
We're on TLAC adult now. Ellie.
All right. Back to Charles with the gas. This can only holds about 2 gallons, so one of the callers said that Marshall and Snelling is open 24 hours.
For a male yelling at female vehicles running into traffic and taken the bus.
Marshall and Snelling.
120, copy, thank you. Should be tonight.
You didn't find any casings, did you? Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'll clear it. Good idea. Just clear it as what? Backfire? Unfounded? 2400, you can clear this call as unfounded. Put us all 10-8. Very good.
Clear,
thanks, Dope. All right. Hard to say if those were gunshots.
113, I'll be 23 to block.
They're very similar, but it's not unusual for either one.
115, you want to clear yourself?
Go to 11, come outside of Southern and Winter. 166, copy after night. Good night.
So, 12 o'clock. My son used to always say nothing really happens till after 12:15. But I don't know if that's true.
211. Current update, suspect reporting something in the broken window.
Anyhow, that caller that had texted earlier
116.04
about the Snelling and Marshall, I'm gonna give him that advice when he puts these 2 gallons in, because I just don't think he's gonna make it to Maple Grove on 2.2 gallons. St. Agnes Church, great institution. Going westbound on Thomas, now coming up on Dale. In case you're wondering where we're at. Our friends back on Grotto and Sherburne. I think that gas station's at Marshall and Hamlin, isn't it? Marshall and Hamlin. It's a good option for him. And we got to run over to Billy's, make sure Billy's is calm tonight. Talk to the bouncer.
Squad 113.
113.
You can mark this on GOA with 120.
33 minutes.
Then after we give him the gas, I'm going to have a Twinkie.
Three two two.
322.
Can we get her?
211 will be able to know.
Copy out, mail. 3 minutes. Copy, thank you.
Where's your gas tank?
4 minutes.
Okay. He's on his way to Hamlin and Marshall. And everything's good. Let's go back and do some. Oh, let me see. Let me see what we got from people for questions. Remember, if you got a question, text me 651-448-3810. 448-3810. So, got some nice comments there. Appreciate your support. All right.
Squad 271, Squad 284.
271.
284. 351 St. Clair Avenue on a missing juvenile. The caller's 11-year-old female. Missing for the last 15 minutes. It's about 4'8", thin build.
All right, we're headed down to the Trend Bar. First, I gotta eat a Twinkie. It's a tradition.
271, copy. 284, copy.
My first partners were Pat Finnegan and Bob Luna. We worked midnights in this district.
9 minutes.
You rotated, so we were always working two-person cars.
Bravo 715 EOT.
Then when I
Have a good night.
when I moved to afternoons, I worked with Mike Beeson. And that's where Mike and I started making regular Twinkie stops. Mike is retired now, but his son Bobby Beeson works for the St. Paul Police Department. It was an awesome job.
532.
532.
The downtown beat split back on a welfare check at Union Depot. The anonymous caller, they're requesting a welfare check on a female that's in the parking lot, who they said is trying to locate a bridge to jump off of, but she's having trouble finding the bridge. She's an 18-year-old female, 5'8", heavy build, wearing a white and black striped romper, gray sweatshirt. Caller did say she's known to carry knives.
I will say this. We have had more suicides and attempted suicides since the COVID problem
Copy, and 532.
than ever before.
532.
It's a
So
lot of
it's looking like it's coming closer to
person in
52
crisis,
on Kellogg,
attempted suicide.
south of the CHS field on Kellogg.
It's a real problem this year. This isolation and economics and COVID in general, this has been a record number. I mean, usually in January, February, and the end of winter, we get a fair number, but all summer long, we have been experiencing suicides in progress. So, obviously, the sooner that we can beat this pandemic, the better. All right, we'll check on the Trend Bar, and then we'll run over to Billy's on Grand. See what happens in between then. But we're westbound on University, coming up on Chatsworth, in case you're wondering where we're at. Westbound Uni coming up on Chatsworth. I don't really know how long these videos are supposed to be. Yeah, back in the old days, White Castle was here where the Popeyes was when I first started. Now it moved to the southwest corner. Still a popular spot. Now we're entering the area on University Avenue that had all the damage during the protests. The fires, broken windows. we had a police station there in the old Brown and Bigelow building on Syndicate University at one point too. Now the main station's out here at Hamlin and
211, your case number is 148947. 148947.
Of course, you followed this BP gas station in the news. I mean, this place was a top spot for drugs problems. Now it's
211, did you copy?
City was trying to close it up anyhow, but
You're welcome.
I think it really closed as a result of the protests and damage here. But a little side story here. Well, and the young girl named Davisha Gillum got shot in this gas station many years ago in a gang-related shooting. Guys were back behind the fence shooting at a car, and she was a small little girl that got killed. That's when the Twin Cities kind of woke up to how dangerous the gang problem can be. And of course that awareness has ebbed and flowed over time, but it's still here. Problem is now most of the gang kids they're so much younger now than they used to be. Used to be that we're dealing with adults.
1988 Brewster Street, Unit 201. Juveniles in the apartment are yelling, screaming for the last 10 minutes.
1988 Brewster. For some reason, we seem to get calls there regularly. All right.
14 minutes.
There's the trend bar. It doesn't even look open tonight.
525.
Well, there's nobody here.
I'm on top of
That's a
the
trend.
bridge here, not seeing anybody, and I'm looking down, not seeing anybody.
There's no cars outside.
Get the location from this person.
Affirmative. They gave an update about 10 seconds ago stating that the female was now walking towards the light rail, but the color.
Actually, I gotta drive by Lloyd's Pharmacy.
Copy, I'll get loud.
Just I just, it's one thing to peaceably protest, it's another thing to get a little angry, but it's a whole nother thing to burn down some guy's life business. And feel sorry for the guy. Every time you drive by it, just a pile of rubble.
Squad 540.
Squad 540.
Yeah, we're going north on Snelling here at Blair.
Can you send me one west squad to assist with some street racers? Meet me at PSG.
I'm just gonna turn around here so you can.
Copy. You're out west by the can assist 540 with street racing.
100, as soon as 119 clears, they can head out to PSG.
Copy that. Squad 540.
540, copy, thanks.
And just 540, I wasn't sure if you were aware, there's also a dangerous condition impending at Energy Park in Raymond. Unknown if that's related.
That's what we're going to.
Copy.
That might be where the racers are, we'll see. Anyhow, across the street here, southeast corner of Minnehaha.
532 in the parking lot of Farmers Market.
Lloyd's Pharmacy. Pile of rubble.
Copy, 532, are you with FEMA?
Thousands of customers. Great people.
Squad 525, did you copy the last?
Affirmative, I'm coming from the west side.
I'm gonna pull over a second, just check
Copy.
check the CAD board,
211, go ahead.
see what else we got going on.
Copy, LAC at 18 minutes.
539 is 532 code 4.
All right.
I'm code 4.
Well, there is racing down on Energy Park.
537, I'm
Drive,
here
so
from the Mears Park detail.
we're gonna go down there and take a look at it. St. Paul's already on the way, so they'll decide whether they want a ticket or chase them out.
Yeah, maybe 18 minutes.
Sometimes they ticket a few. Sometimes they don't. Here's my college, Hamlin University. Great experience, great place.
There are essential squad that can start for 175 Charles Avenue. Assist medics.
Spent a few years playing football here at Norton Field.
Central squad are tied up. Let's see if West squad can help out with that, please.
Gabby.
So a lot of cars, some cars go home at midnight. So it gets a little bit,
a
few less cars out here after midnight.
We'll be down here shortly. Your last is assisted with 221.
Yeah, there's a...
Don't for the West squad over there.
Looks like he's in a hurry to join the race. Oh, he's getting off.
Copy, that's going to be apartment 228 at 175 Charles.
Copy.
In 20 minutes.
So we're entering, and we're on Energy Park. St. Paul beat up me here, so it may be that most of the racers left. Usually they sneak out, chase them out the other end. There aren't any houses down here. They know that very few people really can hear them racing. All right, so here's some of the cars where this is where they sit and watch. The races are out on the street. I just drive down the street here to show you. So there's some motorcycle racers. We're at Energy Park Drive between Snelling and Raymond. On the left there is where now they're all pulling in to get their spot to watch the races. And then where we're at is where the races are.
190 at 10-8.
10 minutes.
When are they starting? Obviously we're going to have to stop them, but I don't know where the St. Paul cars went to. They don't necessarily run from us anymore because the problem is there's so many numbers. See, they're all showing up to race down here. You can't possibly catch them all. You can probably take one car at a time. Alright, so here we are in the parking lot where they watch the racing. After we do a run through here, we're going to turn the lights on and see if we can shoo them out. But having done this a few times before, they don't all move at once. They're here to watch. Hopefully St. Paul will bring 2 or 3 squads. Well, they're backing up their cars. It's kind of like going to a drive-in.
160 investigate Captain anyways.
Yep. Good cars down here for the races.
100 you can put money in the detail for
Now, 100 cities put you see these people standing out here waiting. Now, the worst part is if a car ever loses control, it's going to hit these people on these boulevards. They sit out here. And so St. Paul is going to put a car out at PSG, which I assume means they're going to have them out here on a detail.
For Darren, check it.
I don't know how many cars you saw out here, you guys, but if it was just a car show, wouldn't be bad. But the problem is it's a car race.
Condition of pending Como agreement, vehicles racing. Before the bridge by Como.
113. You might want to check with 540 if they want mark squads ahead there, or are they taking care of that?
$540. Go ahead, 540.
$2,400. What is the plan out here on Energy Park? There's about 100 cars here now and more coming.
We were meeting up at PSG to head out there.
Greasy things.
Hey, can you assign 383 and 222 also to the Energy Park call?
So they're meeting up at PSG and to head out here to try to I mean there is 100 plus cars and more coming.
They're a central squad to start for a fight. 580 Gorman Avenue. 2 callers. First said 3 to 4 physically fighting outside. Second caller said one of the males has a baseball bat threatening to kill another person.
So in the past, this is right where they start.
It's about 310.
You can see some marks.
Put in for just side.
So
699 Wilson, number 2.
I am going to sit here to try to
Mother and stepdad were banging on the
stop
door.
them from killing themselves here.
Mom has called. They want to try and get an air conditioner. They're going to be waiting at Mariah.
Hopefully the St. Paul crew will be here. Good, how are you? Beautiful night. The weather's great. Terrible night for racing though. I'm glad to hear that. That's smart. That's smart. Hopefully nobody will do anything stupid.
Central Squad's able to start for the fight at 580 Gorman.
Well, I gotta turn my lights on now, otherwise somebody's just gonna blatantly. Definitely the new hangout.
Medics say that police can cancel. Patients cooperating with them. You can be cleared.
Copy, return.
Well, thankfully my red lights are causing a lot of them to leave. Not enough.
Code 174 on traffic.
Going wrong.
174, go ahead.
Going to 814. I just want to
Remember, if you're going to send me a text, I can't really read those on the phone because the camera's away, but 651-448-3810, 448-3810. While I'm parked here, I can read them. People are just itching to race, of course.
20 minutes.
See, most of these kids aren't bad kids. They just, all it takes is one bad decision. And as you know, the human brain doesn't really develop until about 26. So, I've been to too many rollover accidents where people change their whole life from one bad decision.
Let's go to 128 for the advised.
In terms of deaths, you know, 50,000 people die a year from
30 minutes.
traffic accidents. Usually it's alcohol or drug related, but speed is the other factor. See, all it takes for now they're starting to move out. It'll take one car just to make. They'll probably find a new spot.
Related to your call.
Clearing them up pretty good. All these cars you see, they're pulling out of this parking lot next to us to the left. Driving down Energy Park. Let's see, about half the cars are gone now. As soon as we clear these cars out of here, we'll check a couple other hot spots. Now you've counted all these cars. There had to be 150 cars here getting ready to race. One kid said the bars are closed, so he doesn't have any place to go. Leaving now, aren't they? Let's give him a little siren to hurry him along. Nudge him along. It's possible the St. Paul Police Department might have had a different plan, but you can't just let these kids race and somebody get killed. Maybe they were going to stop them all and tag them, which isn't a bad thing either. But you can only tag the ones that you're actually catch racing, even though you know a lot of them are here to do that.
24.
Just information, it looks like a pretty significant amount of these street racers are westbound on Energy Park and Raymond. They're all flying through here.
The 2400, I seem to have shooed most of them out up here. About 150 of them are coming your way.
Can you clear us advise the 22?
Alright.
There's 7.
Let's go clear up the stragglers.
Squad 261, taking your status.
261, say again?
Checking status.
Code 4.
Got it. Code 4 on the fight. 36 minutes.
Just making sure you turn your lights on.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's alright. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
So. Well, there you have it. Remember this stretch here? Not one here now. Hopefully they won't come back, but you just never know. You about heading out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go wait down by my friend's car. He's down here talking to people. We're just gonna go straight home.
It's time to leave. It's private property here anyhow. They really don't want you guys here. All right? All right, so where's your friend?
He's down there, but his car's all the way down here.
Wouldn't it be good if you gave him a ride?
Like, yeah, I guess.
What's he do? Yeah, please do.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't see the friend. It's about that time, guys. Yeah, technical difficulties? Oh, all right. Very good. Then when you leave, just abide by the limit.
Will do. You got our word.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night. Thank you. All right, well, I think we're good for now. I know there was somebody that asked about the street racers earlier, so you didn't actually see a race, although you saw one go flying by, but if nobody was here for the next hour, they'd be lining up one-on-one, head-to-head, going right down that Energy Park to Raymond. They just generally try to use the straightaway there. So ready to call it a night? You ready to call it a night? All right, thank you. Just a couple stragglers there. So Energy Park is clear.
Copy, Energy Park clear.
Squad 284.
284.
Squad to back on domestic 175 Charles Avenue, Unit 216. Me from an advocacy service that they had secondhand info that there is violence going on there for the last 3 hours.
Two for copy.
Is there any central spots that can go at 284 to the domestic?
I had a chase through here, I don't know, 6 months ago, through this Energy Park, coming from Rice Street from front, and then try to navigate this curve and trunked roadway. It's got to be one of the most difficult to navigate at high speeds. And,
Second for available West Squad to assist Central on a call. 100 to copy. 175 Charles, number 216, Whiskey, on domestic.
175 Charles, domestic.
128.
128 copy. 100 radio to copy.
How'd you like to chase somebody through
Yeah,
here?
100 copies.
For no minute.
113, I can go with 128.
113 can stay clear. There is one Central Squad going.
Copy.
For no minute.
Well, I hope you're enjoying our first episodes of Live with the Sheriff's Office. Our plan is to not just do patrol functions, but to put you in touch with some of our other functions, both inside the jail and out on the water patrol, our courts functions. But obviously the street, I'll keep working the street on a regular basis, and if you're enjoying this, let me know, because more than happy to take you with me. You know, I'm one of those people that believe this is a noble profession, and, you know, done right, you can do some good. Just stuttering a little while I'm watching and looking at stuff. This time of night is always, you're never sure what's going to happen, because the bars are closing, people got alcohol in them, and so you just need to be extra observant. There's the halftime wreck there. But yeah, it would be good to know. I haven't really seen any of the comments because I've been driving, but I can go back and look at them later. But just text me or at 651-448-3810 if you think this is something valuable, and get a feel for how the job is done by these cops. And again, wasn't real busy tonight. You know, we'll stay on the air for another 15 minutes here till 1 o'clock. But you know, some nights things are just going.
261.
We cleared you away with K9 and 210. You can cancel 128. I'll go down with 284.
Copy that. 43 minutes.
One to eight.
128.
You can be clear. Central is now 5-1.
All right, we're at
Copy, thank you.
45 minutes.
Dale Como front. Some people call it Seven Corners. Highly recommend John's Pizza there in the southeast corner of Como and Dale. It's a favorite cop stop, so to speak. Great food there, great people. Going southeast on Como now.
184.
24.
For the race detail squads that were just at PSG, it looks like a lot of them are coming back and pulling into a lot just west of PSG right now.
The races are returning and flying to a lot west of PSG.
Warner Stallion is over here to our right as we go down Como, one of the best companies in town, doing amazing business. I don't know if you can see the Capitol off in the distance, but it's a beautiful sight out there. Mostly I gotta sign off by 1 o'clock because I don't want my poor wife to have to stay up any later. And she worries about me whenever I'm out here. Probably she worries twice as much when I'm on live TV now. So I think she worries less when I'm just normally out here. I don't know. Feel free to comment, dear, if you're on the... I mean, I won't be able to see it, but the rest of them might be able to see your thoughts on the whole thing. We'll go up Rice Street again, and someone texted in that they thought Billy's on Grand was closed for a while, so we won't run over there after all. I don't know if that's actually true. Text me if you know if they're open. So back up Rice Street. Oh, in case I didn't mention it, right here on Rice and Sycamore is one of our community outreach substations. It's a little construction, but right next in the Ace Auto Parts store. See if I can get a picture of it here on camera. So we have some outreach officers that work here. That's not the greatest picture, is it? I got some text last time I stopped from some people saying they're interested in law enforcement. You know, maybe this will help them get a feel for some of the stuff that we do. So we're back on Rice Street by Bourne's Bar. A lot of people out here. Tomorrow the governor's order on masks takes effect. I guess it's technically now. See how that goes with some of these, some of the bars.
Suspect left in a vehicle in 40 minutes.
Bit of theft from auto over on Inglewood and Hamlin. It's an old call. All right, well, I'm gonna head home pretty quick.
Copy, 49 minutes.
I'm gonna get up early to get my son over to football camp. Really appreciate you watching.
I'm 23 on your disturbance. I can advise.
Hanging in there.
Copy, subsequent signals report 15 to 20 people loud hurrying outside.
But, you know, send some feedback to us on what you think would make it better. I could have a partner because of the COVID, though. It just doesn't work that way.
537 EOT.
Still waiting until we'll start to 113's call.
But we'll keep trying to make it interesting and different for you.
32 assisted
expose you to some
beat in 283.
different parts of the sheriff's office.
Negative.
I'm gonna go in here.
Copy. Anyone else for a 100 DOT?
Tin cup is still going strong.
Have a good night. 50 minutes.
I'm gonna make sure everything's safe here. Good people. And while I'm in the lot here, I'm just going to sign off. There's no serious calls pending. If something happens on my way home, I won't rule out going back live again. But thank you very much for your input, your comments, and I'll be, so those of you that I didn't get to answer your questions tonight, I'll be sure to read them and answer them on the next go around. I might be out tomorrow night.
I can take your suspicious activity.
I usually like working on the weekends when it's a little busier. Don't have to get up too early. But let me just see here. I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much. And again, 651-448-3810.